test, test. Test, test, test. Hey everyone, sorry about the little delay to start. Just getting set up today. I kind of wasn't going to do the early show. I advertised this show to start an hour later, but I'm here. You guys can just watch me set up for the show. How are we going? Are we going good? Let us know in chat. I think there's a few of you. I haven't set up chat yet. I've got to do that now before I populate that into the show. Pop out chat, copy that into this. Not much news this week, so we can probably just skip it. I think there's one thing I want to show you guys. It'll be live news. Quick play. There you go. Chat's working. Test, test. Yes. Testicles. Beautiful. Are you okay? Now, did I forget to disable these plugins again? No. Ooh, I must have done a good job this time. Have I got plugins here? Good. Okay. Everything's working okay according to the stream. Excellent. All right, we can muck around with setting things up. What am I doing? Not that. That. I can put you there. Which is better. No, that one's no good. I should make that one bigger, shouldn't I? It's just not big enough. It's very ugly. Where do I find the button that does that? Oh, I forget. Don't worry about it. Okay. Now, I've got to get audio happening. I can't use the mouse on the Mac for some reason, so I have to use the actual Mac mouse today, which is annoying. What I need to get is the link for... God, I'm having a memory blank. What was the plugin that I got this week? I'll just check Discord because I know I put it in Discord. Ah, there it is. All right, so if I copy that link. Oh, my mouse isn't working across the copies. You little bugger. All right, we'll try it this way. Does that work? Yes. Beautiful. Okay, so that link's working. Ooh, okay. I think that was that all the news I wanted to do? There is 2 news things, but that's the only one I want to show web photo things of. So I think that's okay. Synths and gear. Sorry, I'm still setting up, and it's annoying because you guys don't really have anything other than looking at yourselves chatting, which you can see anyway. Right, I think that'll probably do. I need to... What did I do on this? You guys don't know what I did on this because you can't see what I'm showing. Is this the one with the... Okay, cool. So if we bring that in, and then I go... Don't know if I'm getting any audio. Right, now, I need to check to see if you guys are hearing that. Let us know if you can hear that synth sound. It's showing that you can. Let us know in chat if you can hear it. That's the last thing I need to set up, I think. Thumbs up, good. Good, good, brilliant. Brilliant. Okay, what can we talk about for now? The pre-show, the sort of early show. Oh, I've got to set up the PTZ camera, don't I? PTZs. What's a PTZ, some people might ask? A PTZ is one of these cameras that you can... If I duck my head, you can see it. If I go like this, see that thing there? There. If I move it with this remote control, you'll see See the camera move? That's a PTZ camera. And they are really, really cool to have in your studio because you can set up memory locations to where the camera's pointing to and it will buzz straight over to those spots. So I was wondering if they're still working from last week. Oh, it's a thing of beauty. It's a thing of beauty. The thing is, I don't have any tape on the floor where I put the tripod, so I just guessed it. I just guessed it. Oh yeah, it's a guess. Nice. Don't you love spaghetti? Look at, isn't that lovely? All these OCD people that don't do Eurorack. I hate Eurorack. It's got cables everywhere. I can't stand it. Well, bad luck. Okay, so what we are going to talk about is, in the pre-show, in the early show, is this baby here. The ECR1. In fact, why don't we get a little closey-uppy? Up a little bit. No, that's down. Up, up, I say, up, not down, not that way, come back. All right, this thing is as noisy as hell. And some people will probably tell me, Ranz, why did you buy it? It's faulty. Yeah, it is. It's noisy as hell. Anyway, we'll talk a bit. I don't really know a great deal about this because I've only just literally unpacked it and chucked it in the Eurorack. But what it is, it's a convolver, reverb convolver. Basically, what you do is you load. You can load kind of reverb waveforms in here, and then you can muck around with sound going through, resampling that sound, playing it back and things like that. It's a really, really cool idea. If only it wasn't as noisy as hell. And I'm going to show you guys how noisy it is in a sec when I plug it in. And you can load your waveforms off the thumb drive. And the whole concept is actually brilliant. This is by Tasty Chips. There is a new one out, and the guys in chat will probably tell me you should have just got the ECR Plus because they fixed a whole bunch of crap in that. Let's have a quick look there. Ranz or anyone, can you help? I have a Mark II Turing machine that has CV out, but how do I gate it to the VCAEG? I don't have a Turing machine. I don't actually know. But we could probably work it out. Yes. Does anyone have the Tasty Chips ECR? That'd be interesting if anyone in here has it. So let us know. What I will do is we'll get it set up so we can actually have a listen to it, and you'll see what I mean by noisy and stuff like that in a minute. I should probably close the window. Oh no, what did you do? Whoops, I've just lost my spot. Oh bugger, hang on, I need to remember that. Zoom in. Actually, no. I need to do it via the interface here. Hang on, sorry guys. Zoom in. Sorry, you can hear my mouse clicking. I can actually control it with my mouse through this thing called a Sony Visca over IP controller, which is actually pretty cool. Does this go out of focus? No? I don't think focus is working on it. Anyway, we'll put that there. Put that there. Right, now we need to take the audio in. We're going to go through there. I'm going to take the audio out. There. Right. And this is on. Listen to this. That's nothing going in it right now. Listen how noisy that bastard is. What the hell? So there is a problem with this particular module. I probably will end up sending this back. Basically, there's a signal to noise ratio issue. Now, if I actually, let's leave this turned up so you guys can just listen to wonderful digital noise right now. If I turn the screen on just by mucking around with this controller, listen to how noisy this gets. Hear that? It's crazy, isn't it? You're probably thinking, oh, it's too loud. If I turn the wet all the way off, you can still hear it, so it's outputting just noise. I can turn it down, obviously, but you won't, it's like, you know, turning down. Anyway, let's run some sounds through it. Okay, what do we got? Let's run... Okay, what do we got here? We got this thing. Can't know if I'm hearing this right now. We can play with this a little bit, eh? I'll just turn the kick off. Can muck around with the attack and the release on this thing. It actually tells you the release. Releases up to 200 milliseconds, I think it is, or 2 seconds. So maybe it's 200 seconds, I don't know. I think it's milliseconds. Anyway, getting a bit annoyed with that sound. But yeah, noisy as hell. Does the noise get louder if you tune it up? Yes, it does. Of course it does. The noise is actually a digital noise. And it is definitely been reported by the manufacturer. It is a signal to noise ratio issue with the screen being too close to the electronics behind it. It's probably just very, very badly designed, engineered module, I think. I'm not sure. There's a massive, huge, like, rage on the Muff Wigglers, or sorry, the Mod Wigglers, I should say now, forum, where the manufacturer just literally exited themselves from that forum. They were saying that you can return the module and they'll give you $200 credit and replace it with their new updated module, which is called the ECR Plus, which has got new features, plus they've obviously fixed the issue with the signal to noise ratio. And everyone that's bought this module has said, well, you guys should be fixing something that was never working properly in the first place. I mean, that is unacceptable. If I turn that off, and I turn all the fader positions that's feeding into that off, so there's literally nothing going into that, and then I turn that back on again, that is literally just it making its own noise. Now if I turn wet off, let me just go to here so you can see. Oh, sorry. So that's wet off, dry off. So there's literally no signals going into it at all. That is just, look, if I take the input out, there's no input going into that at all. That is literally just the signal to noise ratio of that screen. Now that screen, let's leave it out actually. That screen will eventually black out. So let's just wait for that. Is it going to do it? There you go. So it did drop a bit of noise. Take the USB out. Yeah, it's definitely nothing to do with the USB. I don't know. But it's noisy as bugger. It's noisy as bugger. So we will not enjoy listening to that all day long. So let's just turn that off. Next to it, I've got the Typhoon, which is a Clouds clone. And to the left of it is the Strymon Magneto. Yeah, I don't know. I was really looking forward to doing convoluted reverbs on this thing. And I really haven't dug my teeth into that side of the world yet, other than play around with it a little bit in Ableton 10 and 11. Yeah, but I did rearrange this rack a little bit over the week. Probably just to get that module in would be the major reason, but let me move it up a bit so you can see. So I moved maths to up there. I don't even know if it's going to stay there. I got rid of, there was an ARP module that's there, that's now over there. These were kind of, that Ranzee was in the top left where maths is, and it's now there. I've put the 106 chorus there. I've left the Variegate there. Pamela's has moved over to the right-hand side, and the reason for that is because it's going to be hard to see, but on these two Arturia rack brutes, they're the 6U versions, you can actually connect them up together. And I never had them connected up together. I've actually got some photos of where I showed what it looked like. Where is it? I'll go to Discord actually. I think it's probably in here. Is it in Discord? Probably is, probably isn't, I don't know. Anyway, I'll find a photo where I showed you where it was just literally, this was just sitting on the desk. Hang on, there we go. This was just sitting on the desk here. And I've now mounted that onto that. And as a result, you've actually got to, literally, it's upside down. So you've got to move the power supply. Normally it's up the top left, you can see there. And now it's the bottom right, so you have to flip it round. Which is not a big deal, but that's just kind of one of the cool things about the rack brutes. So now you can actually, you can literally pull this down on top of each other. And yeah, depending on the length of the cables, it might close. They've got these little red tab things here where they can close on each other. And anyway, so the whole reason why I did that is because over on this right-hand corner here, behind all this spaghetti mess, this is the mixer, that's why there's a spaghetti mess there, is all of my Expert Sleepers connectivity modules. And at the moment, the Expert Sleepers ES8 is connected to my Digiface via light pipe. So there's literally no physical audio connection into my audio interface, just a digital light pipe connection, which is actually really nice. And the module next to it is the FH2 Facton, which we're playing around with over the last couple of weeks. That's now working beautifully. I've got the X and Y is actually connected to sorry, the X and Y, what am I saying? 7 and 8 is connected to the gate and start stop on Pamela's. So I can actually start and stop by CV from Ableton, which is one of the reasons why I want this over here. And because the mix is here, and that's my gate matrix there that I showed you guys, that means that's kind of, I want all this section here to be effects. And that was the plan with the ECR1. So yeah, always plans. All right, let's have a chat to you guys. Have to go back a little bit. I think Andy was first today. So Andy Synthetic was first. So he can wear the yellow Guernsey. Big hello to everyone. So Martin Taylor was second. Future World Machines is there. Big hello to you guys. 80Z. Bert's the AZO head. JX3D, as you guys saw, he was on the show last week. Did a massive job. He was actually not feeling well either, the poor fella. On the show and not feeling well. It's not a bad effort. Not a bad effort at all. This is Ranzee here. Big hello to you. Robbie Puricelli's there. Dipping in and out. Sounds like you're going into a pool. Keith in Watford's there. G'day, Keith. Who else? Neil Wharton. Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon to you, Neil. Volker Tube from Germany. Heya. Who else we got? Human Error. Big hello to Human Error. Michael B. Haven't seen Michael B for ages. Good to see you on the east coast of the US. Hope it's not getting too cold this time of the year. I do believe there's been quite a bit of snow from what I'm seeing on the news. Let's see if we've got Martin Taylor's question answered. We'll do that in a sec with the Turing Mark II. So it looks like a couple of people are helping him there. We'll get to that in a sec. You guys are talking about the noise. That's good. Ken Lewis has jumped in. Yes, noise. Sorry, guys. Sorry about the noise. That's what we're talking about. Noise. Noise kind of sucks. Right. Did we get an answer for Martin Taylor's question? Let's see if we can get the Mark II Turing machine. So Mark II Turing machine. Is it from, I don't know where you get this thing from. Fonk. Fonk's coming up. Music thing modular. Just let me see if I can get a copy of this image. Save your image as. And you guys can Martin can tell us if this is the actual thing that he's referring to. All right. Did that work? Or did I just crash the show? Ooh. Oh, I can't copy those files. Oh, why do websites do that? WebP or whatever they're called. That is really friggin' annoying. Sorry, I'm going to have to use a different computer. Why do websites do WebP? Just to make it hard for us to get. I know you can get some sort of tool that will convert it, but I just haven't got it on top of me. Thonk.co.uk. All right, let's go across to here. Geez, it's loading slow, that website. And we'll do the Turing machine Mark II. This mic is making a crackly sound. I'm guessing it's this one, right? So let us know if it's this one. Tell us if it's got, there we go. Tell us if it's got these features. So what we're looking at is clock, CV, pulse, noise, and out. Does yours have that? Yeah, I think it's a kit, but not everyone can do kits, so you can buy them. Because what was his question originally? His question was, how do you get it to gate it? Well, that would be the clock. I would say the CV, we can probably have a look at the manual here. The clock would be, let's have a look and see if it's got a little manual for this thing. Oh, don't want to play one of Ben's video because he usually stings me for copyright. Don't know why. Modular grid. I wonder if this has got some info on it. Whose video is it? Nah, I'm not playing that video. I just said I'm not playing his videos. He stings me for copyright. I don't know why Ben does that. Probably because he wants me to get permission, which is probably a fair enough thing. Okay. Let me just read these comments here. Pulse out 2 ball. Why can't people just put a friggin' little readme? That wouldn't be too hard to do, would it? Just have a little document. I don't want schematics. I don't want hardware schematics. What's collateral? PDF, images, build of materials, no. We don't want to be watching videos, sorry. I don't like that. Why can't someone just do a little manual on how to use something? So I don't know why that's gone to double. There we go. Go back to here. Human error helped clear my issue, all sorted now. Pulse out to EQ as gate. Okay, cool. So that is generating, I'm guessing, that's generating kind of notes, right? That's what it's like a random note generator. Is that what you mean? So basically, from what I can understand, the clock would be sending it the trigger to trigger the notes, and the pulse out would be the sound that's coming out of it. Yeah. But I thought that the out was for that. I don't know. I don't get it. I'm rewinding my stream. Okay. Which one? This one? Cool. Sounds good. Go for it, Ken. Okay, where were we? We tried to fix that and looks like someone else has helped him, so that's good. Right, let's go back to... What do you reckon I should do with this, guys? So I bought this thing secondhand, and the guy that sent it to me said it's still got a warranty. It's given me contact details for people at Tasty Chips because it just came directly from them. I could send it to Tasty Chips, but reading that Mod Wigglers thread, it looks like they will only replace it or repair it if you send them 200 euros. And I've just spent a whole bunch of money on the module itself. So if I add another 200 euros to that, I guess that doesn't include shipping either, which is probably going to add another 100 euros to it. That's going to be a pricey escapade. So maybe I should send it back to the guy that sold it to me and let it be his problem. I don't know. What do you guys think? Let us know in the chat. What would you do if you got a used module that has this noise? I'm just going to have to mute for a sec. Sorry, I had people screaming in my house and I had to tell them to shut up. I could hear it. You guys probably would have heard it. Right. What are you guys saying? Okay, so the firmware on the ECR1 can only be updated by Tasty Chips. I don't know why, but I believe it has something to do with the processor that's on it. And they've updated it. So it's got a 2.1 firmware on there now that I believe it's been, I actually don't know. There's no way for me to confirm. There probably would be a way to confirm. That would be functionality. But anyway. So it doesn't need a firmware update. Yeah, look, this is a really kind of ethical question here, isn't it? If you were a hardware manufacturer, would you, and you were just a boutique company, like you were selling maybe, I don't know, 500 modules a year, like it's not a lot. It's not going to be, you're not going to be driving around in Lamborghinis doing that sort of stuff. If you did that, and then for whatever reason, your research and development kind of had a little bit of a kink in the armor and you found out that you had a massive fault with your hardware, and as a result, you've decided to go back to the drawing board, remake this thing from scratch, maybe improve the electronics that are in it and rectify the issue with the hardware. At the same time, bring up a whole bunch of new features and then release it as Mark II or Plus or version 2 or whatever, right? Would you then poo-poo on all the people that have bought the original piece of hardware that literally are pulling their hair out because it's got an error, a fault? Would you charge them to fix it? Bearing in mind, the only way to fix it is to literally upgrade it to the new piece of hardware, because it's not a firmware thing that will fix it. What would you think? What would be like an ethical thing to do? Bearing in mind, you might not have a lot of money to spend on this thing. Would you just put it down to trap for young players and learn from your lesson and create a goodwill amongst all the original backers of your project and just completely do a recall, get them to send their modules back, refresh them with the new hardware, send them back at your cost, maybe charge them return postage or something like that, which is kind of what a few people have done, like the bigger companies like Sequential did that with some of their gear, and Moog have done that with some of their gear. So would you do that, or would you charge them 200 euros to upgrade their module? Now, at one stage I was reading that forum, they were also going to be charging 70 euros to flash the firmware on the old one, which doesn't actually fix the fault. It temporarily fixes the fault. Remember how I was showing you before? If the screen is blank, it reduces a bit of the noise, but it doesn't reduce all of the noise. So at the moment, it's the screen is turned off. So that's how I know that the new firmware is on there, because the screen turns off. And as soon as you move a knob, it puts the screen back on again. It's like a screensaver. So let's see what you guys are saying. So Azio Head said he wouldn't be surprised as soon if there was a module that has in-app purchases. Yep. Future World Machine says, I'd keep it. It sounds okay when you pass a signal through it. So that's what a lot of people are saying. They can do with it. When you actually put the signal through it, they can do with it. But the only problem with that is it depends on how you got it connected up. So if you've got it connected up like I have, where I've got it set up as an aux send and return, that's not going to be any good, because that's, if I just turn up my return, that's always going to be playing that noise. So literally the only way I'd be able to use this would be an inline effects unit, and I'd have to put it through maybe some sort of VCA gate setup where I could literally, or put it through a mixer channel and mute it. That would be the only way I could do it. So there's that. Ken's saying it sounds like Tesla. Yeah, doesn't it? Did the seller mention the noise? No, the seller did not mention the noise. But at the same time, the seller mentioned that he got the module. So what happened with the seller is the seller bought, if you go into Reverb right now and look at the ECR ones, there's a seller from Greece. So he bought one of these from the Greek seller. And they're cheaper than if you buy them from Tasty Chips because these are an old, non-superseded module. Nowhere in that Reverb listing does it say anything about these having problems. So that guy probably just doesn't know. By the way, I did message that guy that I sold it to, and he hasn't responded to me. So this might be just, I'm going to have to just chalk up a £280 purchase. Anyway. The thing is, I can't fix the noise issue with filters and even noise algorithms. Like if I was to use Isotopes RX, for example, on it and run it through my DAW, it still won't fix it because I then have to run that on a separate channel in my Eurorack, and then that's just it's just a really, really painful thing to fix. You can't fix it with EQ because then you're going to affect the way your convoluted reverb sounds. Remember, convoluted reverb is really just like, it's like a noise sort of chamber, and you need to hear all the frequencies in it for it to sound beautiful. I'm going to swap the cables over to the Typhoon in a sec. That is still noisy, the Typhoon, but nowhere near as noisy as that. I can't remember what the ECR one has inside it, Wagoo. I think it does say on that Mod Wigglers thread. Anyway, I'll give you guys a link to that later. Yeah, so I'm kind of stuck possibly with this module, and I'm a little bit sad because I could have spent that money on something else. I was really, really wanting, I don't know, if I get some extra Christmas money or something, I might end up sending it back to Tasty Chips and just getting them to upgrade it. I do like the way this thing works. Like there's some really cool sort of, resampling and playback features here, which is actually a cool thing. You can actually load your own convoluted reverb images on there. You can have like Roland space echo stuff on there. You could go into a church and record your own, I think, what is it called? IR? Something, reflections. I can't remember. I'm not really up on the Fourier's transform theory and on that sort of stuff, but you guys who are really into that sort of stuff will know what I'm talking about. But you can record your own, and not only that can you record your own, but you can also manipulate like what level you want this thing to work at, whether you want it to be, at the start, long tail, at the end, So it's really kind of cool. You can muck around with it. Impulse reflection, that's it, IR. Impulse, yes. So you can record your own and put them on, as long as they're WAV files, it will use them, which is actually really, really cool. And I actually haven't ever done that before either. So, I like the idea of it. And also you can CV control this with position, X, width, and aux. I don't know what aux does, but I still haven't read the manual yet. So yeah, it was promising. Anyway, let's stop mucking around with that. What we're going to do, we're going to go into clouds. Everyone's heard clouds. So if I put clouds on and I turn it up, you'll hear that even clouds is noisy. So there's clouds. So let's do that same beat, but through clouds. Anyway, that's clouds. So it's a completely different module. Right. Having it through an FX send and return is actually a kind of nice thing. So yeah, what time is it? Oh, okay, we're about to get some people coming in. We should have Andy Brooks and Darren House coming in a sec, so we'll keep an eye on that. Geez, I didn't even get myself a drink today. I'm so disorganized. Like I said, there's no news this week. We do have a bit of news, but it's not like news like we're normally getting. I don't need myself twice. So yeah, we've got really kind of no news. There's a bit of demonstration on something that's come in that you guys will be able to get yourself access to software-wise. The other thing was the ECR one. It's not really news. It's just kind of, I just kind of find that sort of stuff weird, that the community would do that sort of stuff. Yeah, interesting. What else? Okay, so today we have a new episode of Name That Synth. We have emails from people. Okay, cool. We have Darren's just emailed me, so I know he's on his way in. Steven's emailed me a list of the modules he's selling. Cool. You can share that. Would Mac like me to share that list in the chat? I'm happy to do that if he's wanting to do it. I'll just wait for him to reply, because some people may want to approach him. There's some things that he's got that I probably wouldn't mind getting. Yeah, maybe I don't want to share it. No, get it before everyone else gets it. That would be great. Okay, so he does want me to share it. All right. Cool. There's his list of modules that he's selling, so you can contact him however you may feel. Yeah. Got some Waldorf modules. Nice. Geez, they take up a lot of space, those Waldorf modules. He's got some nice dope for gear. He's got some, he's got an antiphon. I'd love to get the antiphon. Never got that myself. Demora. Wow. Demora is the, which one's the Demora? Is that the delay one? The Demora is the delay one, isn't it? I don't really need that. But those are hard to get now, those Roland IRA modules. So if you see them, snap them up, because they're actually pretty good. We could probably, yeah. Good to have a look at that a little bit later in the show. Right, let me just get something sorted here. Okay, I've got a window open here and you guys can probably hear the traffic outside. But it's really quite warm now here in Australia. We get, you know, quite high temperatures. So I have to be comfortable doing the show because I'm sitting here for hours. So Just put up with it. It's not like we're recording your vocals. Okay. We have an Andy Brooks arriving.
Hello, Ranzee and people. Now, is that working?
It is. Straight
Is
out
that
of the
the right
box.
microphone?
It is.
Oh, bloody hell. Fine.
Isn't that great?
Cool.
How you been? You all right?
Wonders. You know how I've been.
I know how you've been, but I don't know if you want to share that or not.
Yeah, I don't like, but yeah, it's public knowledge now. It's been everywhere. I've been shouting me gob off about it because it's been the most exciting thing to have happened to me in years. So, no, yeah, I've obviously I've had a week in isolation really from last Saturday to today. I've still got to stay in here until Tuesday, and then I'll be allowed out again. So, well, I mean, in many ways, it explained an awful lot why I felt so dreadful through last week's show. I really was. You must have realised I was really struggling. I thought, God, but it was only after the show that I got the phone call from my colleague saying that she tested positive on a PCR test, and I thought, well, I'd better do one of the lateral flows, and immediately it went to 2 bars, just straight. Never done that before. I was like, oh bugger, oh no. Right. So then I went and had the lateral flow, the PCR test straight away. Fortunately, there's a walk-in test place just down the road, so I could book in quickly and get seen. And the next day it came back as positive. So that was me. At least it explained why I felt so bloody awful. And I did take the opportunity just to go to bed, really.
So you had flu symptoms, didn't you? You were like...
Yeah, but yeah, basically it was nothing. It wasn't much more than just like man flu, head cold, a bit sneezy, a bit snotty, a bit sore throat, nothing too bad. I am a bit chesty now, but that's what happens with head colds for me. They sort of go that way. So, I'm feeling so much better. I mean, honestly, Rans, if it had been like last week, I'd have been saying, I'm sorry, I can't do this. But I've taken the opportunity to have a lot of rest this week. I mean, I've sort of gravitated from the bedroom to here and back again, just floating. It's been nice. I've had a really quite pleasant week. So that's been mine.
And do you know what strain you got? Did you get the Delta strain? Did they tell you that?
Well, it'll have been Delta. They didn't. I've had no indication that it was Omicron. So
yeah,
I don't think it. At the end of the day, it don't really matter. It sort of made me feel shit for. Well, still not feeling 100%, but I wouldn't be. So, but yeah, but that was it. Excitement. Well, hey, it was. I mean, to be honest, as I've said to one or two other people, to me, it's a miracle. It's taken this blooming long, really, given the environment that I work in and stuff. For it to have taken this long to actually hit me is a small wonder. So,
and the amount that your country are getting too, just in the community, it's huge numbers. So
yeah, it's because we all live on top of each other, and it's just so densely populated, and of course, schools where everyone's crammed in together, of course, they're not super spreader places, are they? No, of course they're not. There's no evidence that they don't. It's just bollocks. I mean, all you have to do is look at the number of people that are absent in schools, and you'll know that it's the case. But no, they keep denying it.
Yeah.
But hey, that's just because they want schools to stay open, because schools staying open keeps the economy open, and blah blah. So we're all thrown into the thick of it, as lambs to the slaughter, so to speak.
The fact that you got Delta would have meant that the AstraZeneca vaccine that you had probably would have done a lot of good for you as well.
Yeah, I don't doubt it. I don't doubt it. I'm very grateful for the fact that I was double jabbed.
You haven't had the booster though, have you?
Well, you see, there's the irony, Rans. I'd had the booster last Saturday morning before the show. Yeah. Right.
Well, part
of me was wondering.
Yeah.
Part of me was wondering whether that was why I was feeling so grotty.
Yeah, because the people do complain. They get
I did ask about all of it, except the fact that I did lose taste and smell. That's not to do with the booster. That is the real deal.
Yeah, you don't get that from the booster. Yeah, the booster's just like the second. Well, I don't know, because you had AstraZeneca and the booster would have been Pfizer, right? for you?
The boost was Moderna.
Moderna. Okay, Pfizer and Moderna are the same thing, basically. But yeah, from what anyone who's had the second jab in Pfizer, which I have, the booster is kind of similar to the second jab, which is, it does kind of knock you around a bit, makes you sort of tired and lethargic. So in a way, Andy, you probably had
a double whammy.
You had COVID, and then at the same time, you were probably feeling a little bit lethargic in that from the booster. So, no doubt.
Oh,
I think the Moderna is stronger actually
than Pfizer.
I'm sure there was on about. Yeah, I'm sure there was on about only giving a sort of like half dose for a booster if it's Moderna. I had the 2 jabs and they were both Moderna. They both knocked me. You know, I was pretty rough after them.
Oh, well, I mean, compared to AstraZeneca, they kind of are a different makeup. So the way they affect people, it does differently. But in terms of comparing Moderna to Pfizer, they're very, very similar. So there's probably not a lot of difference between the two. Yeah.
Before we get going, I'm going to go make myself a cup of coffee. Now that I can taste coffee,
now I probably need to do something like that as well. Now, Darren, I've got your link. So we need to set that
It's not
up.
a link, it's just a picture.
I got that.
I'll explain all. It's just that I can't show it. I was going to say I can't. I've got something else on.
Is that a really low res picture? Let me just have a quick look at this for a sec. Sorry.
I think I'm sure it's a PNG.
It is a PNG. How big is this thing? It's really, really low res. Let me just do a quick. I'll do it on the preview screen here. So, yeah, it'll still.
I can't share my.
It'll still work, but it's just really pixely. It'll still work. I've got it. It's all good.
Yeah, it was only to splash it up because I can't show you my screen. You see, that was all. So I just sent you that quickly.
Yeah.
It'll all be clear when I mention it.
No probs. I've got to get the other one up now. Where's that bloody gone? There it is. What's the easiest way to do that one? Okay. We can close GitHub. Okay, I'm just setting up something, guys, so it won't be a tick. Yeah, okay, cool. All right, we have got that going. Nice. Right. Okay, sorry, I get messages in the middle of my stream. I have to deal with them if they're show related. Sorry, I do apologize. Okay, what are we doing for time? We've got 12 minutes before the main show starts. No. Sasquatch, it's something that you won't see it yet. I haven't shown you. It's on a preview screen. So the software that I use to stream, I've got a production screen and a preview screen, so I can stage something up on the preview screen, and then I can hit a button, and it will make it go into production. So like that. Little sneak peek. Okay. Right, so we're going to do a Christmas show today. I need to get a little bit ready for a sec. Do you guys mind if I just need to pop out and grab, because I'm going to be here for another hour, so I'm going to have to grab a drink. And
you're going to get your party hat.
I've got to get my party hat. Darren, can you entertain them for a little bit? Is that okay? Can I ask you to do that?
I can try and entertain them. I'm not sure what to do. I haven't got anything on, which is a shame.
Talk a little bit.
Yeah, I'll talk a little bit. I don't know what I'm going to talk about. So you've got me for however long it takes them all to get a drink. Probably. Ranzee's down in Australia, so it might take a while. And I think Andy's just gone off to get a drink as well. I've got my drink. I have my 21 cup drink. Very nice. Thank you, everyone who paid for the album. I'll be mentioning something about that in the show. How are you all doing? How's things going? How's your weather? I'm looking at 2 screens, so if I look up there, it's because I'm looking to see what you've put. So I'm not flaking out. Rave Day is fine. His album's coming on okay. after last night on Inky's party, he's a bit done in. So let me just turn this heater down. Let's have a look. What track am I most pleased with? Good question. What track am I would say probably. I don't think I thought Earth's Cry was one, because it's slightly. That was a sort of later track, sort of almost. Originally, it wasn't going to be on the album. There was only going to be about 15 tracks, so it was a sort of like late one that I had an idea for. So I'm quite pleased with that one. Outer Solar Cosmic Collision is quite interesting. If any of you've, Outer Solar Cosmic Collision. If you listen to that, there's a lot of arpeggiated and melodies all stacked into each other, which was quite an interesting track to do. I had the idea for it, and it actually forms a sort of a tune, even though that tune's not there with the delay on the stacked melodies, which is quite interesting. And that was an early track, actually. Another track, Voyager's Goodbye, is actually a track I written three years ago. Or part of it's a track I written 3 years ago anyway. Sort of melodic bits I've written about 3 years ago, and I found them on an old file and rejigged them. So yeah, so I hope that's answered some of your questions. I don't think, are they back? Well, Andy's back. I don't think he can hear me though. Or he can hear me and he can't speak. Because I think Ranzee has turned us off. I can't hear you, Andy, if you're speaking.
I've muted me. Can you hear me now?
Right, that's why. I can hear you now, yeah.
Right.
There we go.
There we are. Oh, ta-dum.
I was just waffling on there. I think it was Future asked me what was my...
Waffling. Yeah,
waffling. How are you feeling anyway? Well...
Oh, all right.
Guys, can you hear me for a sec? Sorry, I don't mean to interrupt. Keep going with your two having a chat. I've just been told my son's got his university grade entrance mark, so I just want to go find that out. I'll be like 2 minutes and I'll be back.
Feel free. We can all afford. Yeah, shoot off. I'm all right, Darren, actually. Waffle.
It comes and goes. It comes in waves. If I start to feel grim through this, which is a distinct possibility, that I'll just say, look, I need to go and have a lie down. So sorry, folks. Bye. Merry Christmas and all that. But yeah, it's a lot better than I was. I mean, last week I watched some of the stream back later, and I thought, God, I just sounded and looked so ill. I can't believe I did it last week. Really, actually during last week's show, I didn't realise that I'd got the dreaded C. It was only after it all finished, and I got the message from my colleague. So, and then tested it. But yeah, it's been because I've been busy in here. I've been busy putting things back together and moving things around, doing the big jigsaw puzzle. So and then deciding to get my actor gear and get that Vonal Chaos said Part 2 thing up, which I managed to do this morning. So actually, thanks to some of the guys in the chat who've actually already been out and downloaded it and chucked some money in my direction. You don't need to do that, honestly. You can download it for free.
Well, I still need to make a fan account, because I realised when I went on trying to get on some of yours and IP and a few others, it went, you need to have a fan account. So I went, oh bugger. So hopefully before Christmas,
if you can work out how to do that. If you can work out how to do a fan account, because I tried to do it so that I could get the rest of Matt Hodgson's stuff from maths. His stuff's great, but there's some bits you've got to be. I couldn't fathom it. It kept telling me that this email address is already being used. Bugger off. I thought, what? How do I do it then? So if you can fathom it out, you're doing better than me. But I haven't put any.
No, I haven't figured it out. I haven't. No, I've not put any restrictions on it. And I was like, I thought, right, well, I've got yours. Inverted Pulps, a few others to check out. And then it went, well, you can't buy anything or get anything from them unless you're a fan. And I went, oh, am I? Why am I not a fan? And then I realised I'm only an artist, producer. So you've got to have a different...
I think I've had no trouble downloading anything from Inverted Popes. I've downloaded quite a lot of his bits and bobs, but I don't know. It's never said to me. It was only when it was only because there are certain tracks from Maths which are on like subscription. You know, you chuck in £3 a month and you get everything sort of route. I thought, well, okay, well, I'll have a think about that. I tried to do it, and it just said, no, you can't do it. Andy got a great module 10 minutes ago. Permutation, random C. Right, Martin. Tell me more later. Go on, you make me spend more money. God, blimey. I've got plenty of space again in racks because I got the second Go case and got that all sort of set up.
Right, yeah. So now you've got to fill that.
Now I've got about 140 HP free because I basically put the Pro 1 and the Model D back in the racks. I think that's quite nice. But anyway,
okay.
Hey, what's up? Looks like Ranzee's feelings. Oh, right. Ranzee, Andy Synth Addicts tried to get in. Something about a wrong vMix link, or it's changed, or the one he's using isn't working, or something.
Oh, Andy wants to come in? Okay, I can sort that out. Easy peasy Japanesey. Where's his thingo? Oh my goodness me! Andy. That should work. That should be the link, and let's just make sure I've typed that in properly. Okay. Andy, I've just pinged you on Facebook Messenger. And if you are coming in on that link, it should work. Yeah, it should work. Let me just... Oh, I don't have to change the title. It's already there. Cool. How long we go for time? 3 minutes. Woo, God, running up downstairs, finding out results, all that sort of stuff.
Has he done all right?
We can't actually work it out. He's got his he's got all his exam results, so they're okay. So he's not mucked anything up there, which is good. Yeah, so I think it should be okay. I'm just trying to work out because they give you an actual mark, a grade, and I don't know what that is. I guess I'll find out a bit later on when they work it out. Just seeing if Andy can get in. We've got 2 minutes, Andy, if you can see if you can work that out in the meantime. What is he saying in chat?
Yeah,
I'll check Facebook. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Right. So, well, we've got 2 minutes. We got 2 minutes? Okay. So I know you guys weren't checking out the early show, Darren and Andy, but I did purchase this module during the week. The tasty
It was
chips.
on in the background whilst I was busy working.
Yeah. So, but it's
another chip tune thing.
No, this is a convolution reverb module.
Oh, right, fab.
Yeah. So if it was...
I saw chips, you see, and just jumped to a conclusion.
Yeah, no, that's just the name of it. They're a Netherlands Dutch company.
Convolution reverb. Ooh.
Yeah, kind of a thing that I wanted to get into because I love that sort of all that ambient sort of stuff. So, but this is the noise that's coming out of it right now.
Well,
So
radio static.
Well, it adds character.
I can dial it back a little bit.
Darren.
Yeah. That's a shame, really. I could cope with that sort of dirtiness on some sort of weird oscillator or something like that, but with it behind the reverb, I'm not sure.
Testing 1 2 testing.
That sounds like Andy.
See, the problem you've pointed it out to me now. That's all I'm listening to rather than the reverb.
You can't really hear it that much. Like,
I can in my earbud.
it's not too bad. It's like I can dial it back a bit. It's not too bad. It's not like when I really pump it up, you can hear it, but it's not too bad. Look, let me just sort Andy out. Sorry, you guys can't see anything right now, but I'm just going to put Andy in there. Andy, you working?
Hey.
Hey.
Ho, ho, ho.
Hey, hey, hey.
Merry Christmas.
All right, before we do that, let's do this. Okay, are you ready? Get set. Go! No, not that one, not that one. No. That one.
Oh.
Ooh, we got noise in the background. Hello, everyone. Hello. Welcome to the main show. Now I need to sort out why we're getting music, so we can fix that in a sec. Let's see if you can fix it by going like this. Where is that coming from?
Is that you, Rans, or?
There we go. Can you guys hear me all right? Yep. All good?
Yep.
Good.
Yep.
Ho, ho, ho. And a Merry Christmas. This is the Christmas show. Welcome, everyone. Now you can do your ho, ho, ho thing, Andy.
Ho, ho, ho. Merry Christmas.
Beautiful. This is not eggnog, but it's coffee, but we can just pretend it's eggnog. Cheers to everyone. Hope you all have a really good festive season. This is the last show for the year for 2021. We're not going to be here for the next 2 weeks because next Saturday is Christmas Day and the following Saturday is actually New Year's. So beautiful. Good to have you all here. Andy, Darren, and Andy. Brooksy. So what have we got in store for today? Ooh, why don't we say hello to who should we go with first? We'll go with Mr. Joyce. How you going, mate?
Hey, how's it going? Oh, my focus is not so good, huh? Look at that. I got to fix that.
You're kind of overexposed.
I had a camera malfunction. Yeah, I had a camera malfunction. Not as bad as Gaz's on Sonic's talk the other day, but right when I turned it on, the camera. Whoop. So I'll fix that. But yeah, doing well. Just busy as hell. I was actually working tonight on a new thing for the Hardware Jam thing, Inky's little project.
Yep.
And of course it's live, so I screwed up a bunch. I have to do it again, but it was fun. So
beautiful, fantastic. Any new gear?
What did I get? Actually, for a long time I was trying to get one of those make noise tell harmonics.
Mm-hmm.
I finally got one of those. I don't know if you've seen those before.
Nope. I do know what you're talking about though, but I haven't seen one in real life.
Yeah, it has 3 circuits for sound basically. One is kind of a CZ Casio digital kind of thing. That's kind of nice. I always like that sound. It has a telharmonium type circuit on it, so you can imitate the old ancient massive like 200-ton synth from what was that, 1910 or something like that? It was a long time ago. And then it has a third circuit, which is some of the kind of digital thing. And you can mix them all at once or do one at a time. And it's pretty nice, actually. It's a really weird, as Make Noise does, it has weird names for everything, so you have to figure out what everything is. but it's good stuff. So
it's actually a retired module, is it? They don't make it anymore.
Yes. Yeah, I think like last year maybe. It's pretty recently. But there's an anniversary edition someone has on Reverb right now. It's like 4 times the price.
Mm.
But yeah, it's not bad. It's like $300 or something like that, and it offers some interesting things. There's some stuff in the spaces when you mess around with it that's unexpected. So a lot of the demos I saw were quite impressive.
So it's basically a little bit of West Coast influence in this, from what I can work out. It's like an additive slash.
A little bit, yeah. West Coast mixed with CZ, which is kind of the phase modulation stuff.
Yeah.
And some other kind of weird stuff. And because you can do all three inputs up there, outputs on the top there, you can have all at once if you want. The only caveat is the knobs are shared. So you tweak one severely, you might tweak the other one quite a bit at the same time. But that's, I guess, part of the fun.
That's one of the things that I love about the Make Noise gear is they actually are very playable. We were talking about the Magneto the other day from Strymon and the other one that they've just released. See, the thing with Make Noise is they make a module that I've always wanted to get to, which is the Morphogene and the...
Oh, I love that. That's a good one.
So Morphogene is one, which is basically just so cool. And the other one that I would mind getting is this one, the Mimeophone.
Yeah.
This is also a really, really cool module. So I'll probably end up getting the Mimeophone first, I reckon. But in terms of playability... It's like
precursor to Morphogene, right? Isn't it kind of a precursor?
Well, they're not really the same, but you could probably get away with not having one or the other, but they will do different things. But yeah, anyway, so that's one of the things that I like about the Make Noise stuff. It's just very, very playable. Even the maths is very, very playable. Oh, we got a 10 euro thing from Future World Machines. Big thank you. We'll grab that before the screen scrolls off. Big thank you from Future World Machines. Thanks everyone for a great year of live streaming. Our pleasure, mate. Our pleasure. And we'll be back next year. Don't worry. Older but better. Older and wiser. But another year.
The wiser bit.
Well, yeah. I don't know. You guys might be losing brain cells.
You've been having too much eggnog if you think it's going to be wiser.
I got my Brisbane cup. There you go. Brisbane.
The Bane of Briz.
Why don't we say hello to Darren? Darren, how's your week been?
Hello, Darren.
Oh, my week's... hello, Andy. Andy. Ranz. And everybody in the chat.
I thought I'd call myself Randy.
Randy,
be Randy, Andy.
Randy Ranz.
And Dandy.
No, please don't.
And you'll be Dandy.
No, please don't.
No, I know. And I've pulled up my special silver. Yeah, week's been...
Did you polish
week's
it?
been fine. It's good. It's a sort of a matte finish. So that it glows in the dark.
You finished with matte now, have you? Is it matte?
Yeah.
Yeah. Just wait for Mandy.
Right, well, we'll stop it there, otherwise...
Is Mandy a cross-dresser?
Week's been fine. I want to thank everyone who paid for the 2121 album. Thank you very much. And for those people who paid for the album, or paid, gave something for the album, which was very kind of you, Ranzee's going to put up a picture now of what you'll be receiving, I hope, sometime in January. I'm not exactly sure when, because there's still a track or two that I'm not sure. But this is what you'll be receiving, but only for those ones that ended up paying for it. So anyone else will not get it. It'll be just you, very loyal, great followers.
Very exclusive.
Hubble is watching.
Exclusive, yeah. Yeah, so you'll be getting that at some point in the new year, hopefully before the end of January, if all goes well.
Very exciting.
So a big thank you to all.
Very. How does Hubble get out of the way with all those satellites that Elon Musk has put up there for his new fandangled internet system? He's put something like 200,000 friggin' satellites up in the sky. Crazy
There's actually
stuff.
a cool website that tracks every single one, and you can look at the tracks and the paths and the names and everything.
Yeah, it's like a 3D model thing. It's really cool, and it shows little hexagon.
All the space junk.
They've got little hexagon cells, where you live basically. And those, because those satellites are constantly moving, around with orbit, you will literally just ping another satellite within each hour, pretty much, isn't it? I think it's about once every hour or so. They kind of you sort of ping across to another sat. But yeah, one of the Hubble's a little bit away from that. I'm kidding. Right, and we can't forget about Brooksy. We know all about how your week's been, mate, but we could do an abridged version for the main show.
An abridged version. Well, basically, just thank you to everybody who sent their best wishes and things via various forms, social media. It's been a bit mental, been loads of that. So thank you so much. It's been really, really lovely. The kindness that's been shown out there, just slightly overwhelming. Got a bit teary at times. Thank you so much for that. Yeah, because it was a bit of a shock last Saturday, but at the end of the day, it was just a bit of a cold, really. But it did make me feel dreadful for the last sort of 4 days, and the last couple of days I've been feeling a lot better. So, but I was determined to use the time. I thought, well, I can't go to work. I'm not allowed to go to work. I'm confined to here. I've not been out of the flat at all. So, well, might as well get on. So you can see, I've rearranged things. I've put things back. I wonder if I can. Let me just see. Does this show over here what this is like over there now?
Oh, look at that.
There you go. There you go.
That looks nice. I like that. Your Pro 1 looks nice now that it's all fixed.
Yeah, it's looking decent, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's why it's sitting there.
It's not hidden in the side of shame.
No, it's not outside. Where am I? I'm back to square one. Another Empire backfire. Go on, name that tune if everybody can.
Yeah. I'm just having a
Anybody
little.
Get that one?
I'm having
square one. Another Empire backfire.
Brooksy, we're having a little look at what you got. You got the micro Korg with is it a Volca keys on top of it?
Sitting on top of it. There's that's the Beats, because there's no room in this little rack case.
For Beats on top of it. Yeah.
I've just plonked it up there. These are not wired in yet. As you can see, they've got the power cables coming through. I've been putting together a spreadsheet of MIDI routines, because that's always a bit of a ball ache, because I obviously want the computer. And what you probably didn't see there is that the MPC is on the table here, in a much better, more sensible position, much more usable here than it when it was up there. So that's a big improvement. Been playing about with that. Honestly, been playing about with the MPC. Can you believe it? So that's been. Wow. Yeah, I know. Yeah, we're getting somewhere at that long bloody last. Honestly, it's just a case of just sit yourself down and get on with it, Brooks. Come on, stop being a twat. Oh, yeah. Sorry. It's just been putting that together, and then I spent quite a lot of time tidying up the sort of digital tracks and things for this release, which I've managed to stick up this morning. So, Phonal Chaos Digital Recordings 1998 to 2000. Yeah, that went up this morning.
Is it this button? There you go. Andy?
There you go, yeah. So, yeah, quite a lot of time doing the artwork, actually, because I was really not very talented with that. I took that photograph in the Central Cemetery here in Sheffield. And I was just going through photographs. What can I use? What looks... Oh, yeah, that's quite an interesting photo. And then I messed about with it. My dad did a black and white render thing using his clever software. And then I messed about. And the lettering, because I could not get the lettering to be clear and stuff on it. So, oddly enough, the lettering was done by Jim Glue.
Good on you, Jim.
Often in the chat. Yeah, so Jim, I sent him...
I haven't seen him today.
Over the top. And no, not seen him yet. He may well pop in, but so Jim Glue did that, so he's got a little credit in there as well for doing it. There's nine tracks. There was going to be more, but at the end of the day, I just decided some of them sounded so bloody dreadful. There was nothing I could do to rescue. So I ditched a few. Some of them are recordings that have already been up on YouTube in some way.
Which one can we play?
Well, yeah, just. Well, I thought something that's perhaps not up on YouTube. That's I'm not sure. Let's have a go with. I don't know which you will know Dodgy Dub. That's one that Inky goes on about. The drums on Gondolin and Mingin, but quite the track, because that was a live recording, and that's not. Oh, I don't know. What about Techno Babble? That mix.
All right. We'll just do the first couple of minutes.
Go to or stick it through towards the end.
Whereabouts? About halfway?
Yeah, go on. Just throw it. Yeah, go on.
All right, beautiful. Well done, Andy. That's going to be. I'm going to be checking all that out. Absolutely. I love the sound of that era. I mean, that it's got some. You know, there's some sounds that I definitely recognise because I know you back in the day you were using Electrobes and things like that, weren't you? So.
No. That was all. That one will have all been all W30 SH101 Pro 1.
Right. So even prior to the Electrobe days.
Actually, that sort of long sort of filter sweep sound that came through, originally that was from a DW6000, but I redid it for live use on that was on a base station rack, which currently Kent still has. So yeah, but it was basically W30 SH101 Pro 1 and DR660 drum machine. That version might have had drums from the ESI sampler. It all becomes a blur after a while. So was,
And what age would have that been? What was that? 90s or?
Oh, that track. That's 1998 or 1999 when that recording was done. The track itself, I think, is about. No, it's the same period, mid to late 90s.
Fantastic.
That used to be the track that I finished my gigs with, but then I did a cover version of Doctor Who, which unfortunately I can't stick any of those versions on Bandcamp because it's obviously I don't hold the copyright for that. That's somebody else's tune. It's a cover version. But I did that, and I used to finish my gigs with that. So
you can put it on YouTube. The only thing if you do put it on YouTube, they'll do a copyright claim on it, but it doesn't. It's a copyright claim isn't a copyright strike. So
there is one up there actually on my channel, a Doctor. It's a tedious video. It's just a picture of the 12-inch single with the music underneath it. But that's up there. Yeah, well, I'm not. My channel hasn't got any enough subscribers to be monetized anyway. So there's no real infringement that way. So. Well, yeah, anyway, so thanks. So there's been a few people have already been out and downloaded it and paid for it again as well. So thank you to all you guys. It's about half a dozen of you already, which is we're chuffed to bits with that. Thank you very much for your generosity. I really do appreciate it. But don't forget, you don't actually have to pay for it. You can download it for free. You really can download it for free. It's fine,
but
honestly.
If someone wants to,
don't even have to put your email in.
If someone wants to ping you a couple of quid,
Exactly. It's very generous of them, and it's very much appreciated. It's really kind.
Fantastic. Well, we should say hello to the chatties officially. I've actually gone through most of them, but jump in now if you want to put your name on the screen. I noticed a few popped in, like Robbie Puricelli, Failed Muso's back in again. He's in and out like a... no, we won't say that joke. Cresshead's here, good to see. Yeah, so everyone else I think we've already said hello to, other than a few maybe that I've missed. But anyway, that's fine. Nice to have you all. This is, like I said, this is the final show for the year. So please enjoy it. We'll do our best to keep you guys entertained for the next hour and a bit. But we will do this first, and that is...
Actually, Ranz, before you press your button, before you press your button.
I was literally about to press it.
Well, there's one thing we've got to say, because Inky's just jumped in, and we all ought to say a big happy birthday to Inky for yesterday. Me, Darren, and Andy were all at Inky's birthday party yesterday, bopping away merrily to the DJs that were playing. It was great. So, great party, Inky. Thank you very much for that, and happy birthday.
Oh, fantastic!
And Ray Dave was there.
Happy birthday, Lisa.
Dave, yeah.
I did message Lisa. So beautiful. I don't know if she's there. I haven't seen her. Oh yeah, there she is. She's there. Beautiful.
Yeah.
Let's do this.
She's probably staggering about still. I told her not to get in that gyroscope.
Boom. There we go. It's on. It's official. Beautiful. All right. We shall press this button now. This one. Keeping in with the Christmas themes of the year, some of these are probably repeated from last year. I'm not sure. I can't remember. I can't even be bothered looking. But we're going to start with this one. Yes, these are memes. Yes, they are usually not that funny. For Christmas, I want a dragon. Be realistic. I want my plugins to work on Catalina. Actually, that should probably now say Big Sur or something like that now, shouldn't it? What colour do you want your dragon? Dearie me. This is the truth, really, isn't it? This is just more like the truth. Okay, what about this one? We have kids yelling outside of my door, so I do apologise for that. But I think I showed this last year, actually. This is the plug-in Christmas tree, moving right along. Crickets there. What about this one? People see Christmas trees. I see kick samples.
That's a good one. Yeah.
Yes, it is. All right. And the last one
And a hi-hat.
is great to see Mary on keyboard and Joseph on vocals on this year's Christmas stamp. Deck the halls with... we won't be doing renditions.
That's a nicer version of the Lee Harvey Oswald Photoshop.
Oh,
You guys ever see that one?
I haven't. I don't know if I want to, though.
Oh, it's very funny. I mean,
All right.
Yeah.
Ping it my way if you get a chance, and we'll share it if it's not too bad.
I will. Yeah.
Okay. Like, we don't have any news this week because I don't think there's anything really major, unless I've missed something massive. I'm pretty sure I'm safe. But what we do have is, we'll roll the stinger for news, and we'll see what happens. Yes, this came out during the week, which normally, like plugins, you get plugins and you think to yourself, another plugin, and when they're free, you think to yourself, cool, a free plugin. I like free plugins. But when they're free, are they any good? Sometimes they're not. Sometimes they're okay. But what about this one from Audiority? This is called Dr. Phase, and it's modelled after the Phase 90 from MXR, and I'm actually going to show you one of those pedals in a sec. It's a digital plugin that goes into your VST, but we are lucky enough that I actually did download it and install it, and it's running on Ableton Live 11 Beta, which is, I should tell you, the silicon version of Ableton, the MX1 silicon version of Ableton. And there it is there running in the background. I've got the Arturia Prophet 5 clone. I don't know why I chose the Prophet 5, probably because I don't own one and I'm too poor to own one. But yeah, what I thought we'd do is we'd actually have a bit of a listen to it. And while we're doing that, I'll grab the real one. Do you guys remember what the Phase 90 sounds like? Let me just show you quickly with this camera. There's a Phase 90 pedal there.
Phaser.
All right, they're very basic, nothing special. Nice and orangey. But the thing is, with plugins, we never seem to get the sound, right? We never quite get it right. Like I know there's been a lot of attempts at doing the small stone phaser, especially the 1970s version one. I don't think anyone's ever got close to that. But anyway, we'll try this one. Now, let's make sure we're getting sound. Now, I probably spoilt that a little bit because I do have a bit of FX running on the background. So we'll turn that off and we'll just listen to the phaser.
Can I ask a question, Ranzee?
Yeah.
I was going to ask you something. Sensing's just said it needs a poly Moog. Does the Arturia collection have a poly Moog in it?
Don't think so. It's got the Moog. Don't think so. Yeah.
Oh yeah, that'd have been a shame. You could have had instant Gary Newman then.
Oh yeah. So this is without any effects. Let's get. Why don't we try some patches? So let's try like the shine. So this will be a bit faster. There we go. We'll just try a couple more. We'll try Eddie Cigar. And with every good phaser, at least put some delay in it, which is B. So it kind of just helps it. I always find too with phasers that sometimes they're better as an inline effects as opposed to a send and return effect, but it depends on the kind of effect that you're after. But in this particular case, yeah. Now, the reason why I want to show you this, not just because it's free, but because the original actually sounds like that. And it's kind of bizarre because this is an analog phaser. And they've actually got it really good. So for a free plugin, you can get yourself a Phase 90 sound, and I reckon that's really, really cool. I will jump the link if you haven't got it already. I'll get the link for you guys happening in a sec. Sorry, I just need to go back to my other browser. So it's Audority. Audority.com, Audiority it is, Audiority.com /shop/Dr. Phase. And I'll just paste that into the chat so you guys have got all of that. And grab yourself it now because I believe it's free. I don't think it's going to stay free. So if you're into phasers, you might think to yourself, well, so what? It's not that exciting. But I think it is. I think it was actually pretty good. Now, in terms of news, so I mean, like there's other bits and pieces of news that's come out, but I thought that was a pretty decent bit of news for the week. The other bit of news was I've been mucking around with Ableton again during the week, and the world of beta testing Ableton, it's a public beta, so I can talk about this. We are now up to, where are we up to? We're up to 11 beta B9 build. Now, during the week, we actually had 2 beta updates. They brought out B8 and everything that was an AU that wasn't running on Apple Silicon literally stopped playing. So then they quickly, I think within 24 hours, probably one of the fastest software patches they ever brought out. They brought out the B9 version of the beta, and they fixed that problem. But the good thing about it is, one of the things I've noticed is a lot of the Roland stuff now is actually starting to become a lot less taxing on the CPU. Now I'm running, I don't know if you guys remember or not, but I'm running a Mac Mini. Now this is the M1 Mac Mini. It's the the newer version of the Mac Mini. So let's grab a Roland Cloud thing. What can we grab? Let's grab a System 8. A System 8 is pretty taxing. So instead of doing the Prophet, we'll do the System 8. We'll keep the phaser there because it doesn't have a phaser. Oh, it might actually have a flanger or phaser or something on it. Anyway, we'll grab some sort of synthy sound. What do you reckon? Something big? That sounds good. Do that. But let's turn all the Roland effects off on the right here. If you guys know the layout of your System 8, I've got a System 8 sitting over behind me. Let's turn all the Roland effects off. So we're just listening to the synth engine itself. What does this thing sound like? Now, do we want to turn... Yeah, we'll turn all the... so this has got the phaser happening still. Oh, we can almost do Daft Punk, can't we? Hey? Now we'll add some Eventide. So yeah, wow. Roland stuff is starting to really behave, and I reckon that's good news for anyone who's thinking about going across the divide and getting Apple M1 stuff. And it's really starting to show good signs. I think now I've got a very stable sort of audio DAW platform now. I've got my interface working nicely. All of the Roland gear has been updated. So Roland drivers for things like MX1, mixers, and your boutiques and your phantoms, all that sort of stuff have all been updated. So all your hardware you can run now, and the Roland Cloud's now behaving itself, which is finally, it's a good thing. Yeah, so I just thought I'd let you guys in on that as well as a bit of news. I think it's a good bit of news actually. And so while we go off, a lot of people take holidays this time of year, a couple of weeks off or whatever. So and a lot of us write music, and one thing we don't want to do is have computer problems while we're doing that. So yeah. Any comments from you guys?
Sounded good, didn't it?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's nice. Phasers are great.
Go with the phasers? Yeah. I haven't actually organised any of the price watch stuff yet. So do you want to just give me a sec while I sort that out? Andy, I'm just going to grab stuff that I
also sent you that thing in Facebook, the Harvey Oswald graphic. So.
Oh, okay. Okay.
It's for a chuckle.
Forward, more. Oh, it's tiny though. I don't know if it's going to work on me, but we'll try. As Yoda says, do or not do, there is no try. Let's see if this works. I've crashed the stream once before doing this. Uh-oh. There you go.
So they got Roland D50s back then.
2 D50s. Who's the guy with the cowboy hat playing one-handed D50?
It's one of the cops. So it's Jack Ruby with the guitar there. And,
right.
Oswald getting shot. So it's kind of funny, not so funny, but there's a good Photoshop though.
Yeah. Oh, okay. I get it now. Yeah. Right. Okay. So we need to get the price watch stuff in. Guys, tell us what your favorite, have a think about what your favorite synth for the year is. I mean, a lot of the other shows have been doing this. Obviously Sonic did it. you know. And while they were doing it, you're probably thinking to yourself, well, I've got one. I want to talk about it. So you've got a platform to talk about it. Now, what we want to do is we want to talk about something that's come out in 2021. And I know some of the stuff that's come out in 2021 has, like, for example, the Super 8, Udo Super 8 came out at the start of this year, but that was like dragging on and on and on before they actually physically finally got it out. But I guess it came out, so you could include that. But yeah, there were some new versions of the Hydra synth that came out, but it's still the Hydra synth. There's nothing really new to the table in terms of sound. But were there any synths that came out this year? Like there was a couple of sequential ones that came out. Lots of Eurorack. I mean, we're just spoilt with Eurorack. I mean, modules galore. You could just literally go homeless without paying your mortgage on that sort of stuff. Yeah, so have a think. Could be software as well. Is there software that you think might float your boat? Like I know a couple of people are really getting into Bitwig, for example. Even though Bitwig didn't come out this year, people are saying the Bitwig update that came out this year was a good one. So have a think about that while I'm populating the scams for the week. Price watch.
Actually, I was going to ask if I could do a quick demo before this battery dies on this thing. You guys might like this.
Go for it.
Let's say, let me turn this up, see if you can hear it. The app might have paused on me. Let me if you guys can hear this. Come on, don't do it now. Come on. It's resyncing. Oh, come on. Classic demo thing that doesn't work when you want it to. You guys hear that all right? So, Christmassy theme. It's a sprig from a bush, basically a Christmas tree type thing. Plant wave connected to it with alligator clips, running on the Plant Wave app. And it's generating this music from the plant's galvanic response, basically.
Wow.
It's all wireless. It's Bluetooth from the Plant Wave box to the phone. This little leaf here, you can see. The leaf is blinking to let you know that it's actually getting the signal. And you have different. This is the app which has sound presets and stuff. So I can use regular MIDI with it, like I did in some of my videos. But if I switch sounds here, you can get. Little Tangerine Dream kind of stuff here.
Nice.
But yeah, it's just a little sprig. So this poor guy's going to die because I had to cut it to do this. But even though it's not connected, it still has plenty of life in it. And I don't want to do it now because I had only two hands here to hold it up. But in the video I posted a while back, you can see a different light response on the plants, different color, different wavelengths of light. To excite the plant at different levels. So you kind of similar to how photosynthesis works, there's a red peak and a blue peak. And if you do white light, it's all the peaks. And the plant actually changes based on kind of light you use. It's pretty fun. But I don't know if does that sound okay? Or is it kind of low?
It's kind of low, but we can still hear it, yeah.
I'll turn it up a little bit. Change presets. And you can see the blinky lights here on the box. And the different presets have different different cadences and stuff too. So there you go. That's Plant Wave.
Great stuff.
Christmas tree.
And perfect timing because I finished doing the price watch stuff.
Good. Thanks.
Good on you, Andy. Beautiful. Right. Well, speaking of price watch, shall we roll the stinger? We shall. Some of these are brought to you by Andy, and some of these are brought to you by someone else, and I'll tell you who that is when we get to it. The first one off the rank is this one, which is the Korg Prophecy with Zoe Zawinul's, used it in a concert and signed it on the back. Joe, sorry.
In good condition with the original phosphorescence adhesive tape used by Joe Zawinul.
Yeah.
Weather report.
This one's in Romania, though. Probably doesn't ship to my part of the world. But, little, 12, 13-hour drive from the UK to Romania. You can get that. Yeah, $3,000. Don't know if I would get it, but Andy, you might want to get it.
Actually, just got a Prophecy, a pretty good price.
You can get them pretty good at the moment, actually. Ooh. This is the Voyatra 8. I would actually love one of these things. I really would. 20 grand.
Pretty rare as well.
Look, 20 grand is probably what they go for. I wouldn't say this is in scam territory.
You're buying a rarity with one of those.
New Order use these. And, some of their later sort of dance track albums, it's all over their stuff. I think the album Technique, or was it Technique or was it Bizarre Love Triangle? What was that album that Bizarre Love Triangle was on? Brotherhood. Yeah, I think it might have been the Brotherhood as well.
Didn't they use, wasn't it Arthur Baker's? Didn't he have them?
Yeah.
Didn't Arthur Baker introduce them to the Voyatra? I think.
Yeah. But I think, what's it, Lillian is the name? Gillian. I think she was the one that was kind of keen on it. Bernard was the nerd in terms of like synths and stuff, but she was actually pretty keen on it. Anyway, we shall move on. This one came in from Future World.
Synth, right?
This one came in from Future World Machines. Sorry, Andy. Future World Machines is in the chat room, so big up from you, matey. And this is a Pro 1, Andy, desktop version.
Yeah.
Desktop mod. This is not the...
I can absolutely understand.
This is not the Behringer one.
Would do that to it.
Well, after the keyboard, yeah. After the problems you've had with the keyboard, yeah.
The actual Pro 1 chassis is really poor. It's really not good. So if you take out the actual synth panel stuff and were to rehouse it in like that way, I can thoroughly understand it. In fact, there's been a number of videos on YouTube of people creating the whole wooden enclosures for the Pro 1, but getting rid of the plasticky crap and putting it into a wooden enclosure, and that's just a development of that. I mean, it's really nice, a really nice idea. It looks great, doesn't it?
That does, and I think like €2,000. I wouldn't say this is any sort of scam territory. This is probably what people would pay for this. It's actually a really nicely done mod. I think actually you probably get people paying you for that. I don't know what a standard Pro 1 would go for with a keyboard. I wouldn't be surprised if it was around the €1,500 mark without even looking. So an extra €500 to do a really nice, job of finishing it off. I think it's probably worth it. So thanks.
Is that a faceplate on the front or the bent metal? Did they actually bend the metal?
I think they've bent the metal. It looks nice. It's on Reverb, so we could probably see if we can dig up the listing.
I suspect that the casing that it's in has been separately made, and just the actual synth panel itself has been taken out, almost like taking it out of a Behringer. But you can sort of do that. It's its own panel, so you can then rehouse that and the board underneath.
Yeah. We should probably see if we can find that on Reverb. I'm not going to look for it just yet, though. Why did I not find that just then? Is it in the wrong folder? Sorry, just give me a sec, guys. I'm going to add a new one in because the one I've got in has just popped in. There's another guy in the chat. His name is Keith, and he sent this one in, and that's the Strymon patch cables for £890. Wow. This stuff is getting insane because the guy's obviously passed on and obviously he can't make this stuff anymore. But I mean, like it's getting stupid. It's getting ridiculous. I think we showed a Strymon, what is it, like a VCA module or something that went for something like £2,000. It's just absolutely getting crazy. Someone could easily make something like that in China, and you would never know. Like it would be so easy to reproduce that in China.
It's £44 just to ship the patch cable. Goodness me, how heavy is it?
It's weighted with love, Andy.
All right. Yeah.
Yes.
And a whole lot of chuckling from the person getting paid for it. They think it's hilarious.
Be careful, people, buying things secondhand, buying things, look, I've bought something secondhand and it may well be a bad purchase. I've just spent, the better part of 580 Australian is what, 290 quid. Yeah. So nearly 300 quid on a module that may not be anything useful. I don't know. We'll work it out. I'm having a little cry about it, so just let me. Right. We do have something really cool to show you guys, and I might just close some of these VSTs off. I have another funny side submission for the week, and it's brought to you by TikTok, which has been, what can I say? Yes, I'm not going to say anything. Brought to you by TikTok is all I'll say. Let's go. Yes, TikTok, the endless child. My daughter sent me that, and she said, "Why don't you put that on your show, Dad?" Well, darn it. No, that was good. I thought that was pretty clever. Christmas wrapping paper. There you go. If you'd run out of uses for Christmas wrapping paper at the end of the silly season, there's an idea for you.
There was a high school kid that built one of those out of PVC, like an organ style, and he traveled around with it busking and stuff. It's interesting.
Right. The sound kind of reminded me of that. Do you remember that that thing which was like a ribbed bit of pipe and like a flexi pipe, and they used to swing it
You wave
around.
it, the 5 tones.
Yeah, and it gets that sort of
harmonic
harmonic sounds. Yeah, kind of reminded me a little bit of that, didn't it?
But Blue Man Group invented that pipe thing, part of their show.
Yeah. Yeah. Why don't we do something that we've been wanting to do for a little while, and that's this. Yes. We're up to the 8th episode of this. Can you believe it? Already. We've done 8 of these. I thought this would be a complete flop, this segment. It probably is. And I'm probably just in La La Land thinking that it's actually successful. Okay, we have a new one. This one's done by me. If you're wondering what this segment's about, if you're new here, big hello. What it is, we're going to play a video, and the video will have a lot of visuals, but the visuals won't really tell you much. You've got to use your ears, and you see if you can guess what the synth is. And the first person to get it right in the chat has bragging rights for a week. We don't have prizes here. This is a very budget show here. But yeah, if you can guess it and you think you know what it is, wrong answers, we don't punish you for the wrong answers, so chuck your wrong answer in if you like. So we should go straight over to the video and play it. Here we go. Right, who has guessed it? Looks like no one's guessed it. Yes, we've got a good one this week, people. Yeah. Oh, okay. Shall we play? Let's go.
Boy, do I feel stupid. I actually own that.
There we go. But we do have a winner. And the winner is Future World Machines, who correctly guessed Roland Boutique, SCOT. And he guessed it just before I revealed it. So that is a true winner. Well done to Future World Machines. So give yourself a pat in the back, and you now have bragging rights for the rest of the week. Actually, you've got bragging rights for 3 weeks because there won't be a show for 2 weeks. There you go. You can hold on to that bragging rights for a while. Lots of people were very, very close to getting the sound right because people were saying boog or bogue. They were saying Moogs. They were saying sub-fatties, little fatties. So you were getting the Moog sound. You were definitely getting the Moog sound because it's a Studio Electronics SCO2, the whole analog side of that synth is all basically replicating Moog oscillators and filters and everything. So it's pretty much there. But remember the rules. The rules are that you can't use any external effects. It's got to be the sound straight out of the synth. There were no external effects on this at all. The delay is built into the SCO2, so I can use that. So there you go. Did you guys enjoy that this week?
Good one. Yeah, it's always good. Frustratingly good. Irritatingly good.
The cross mod was a giveaway. I just missed it. So
yeah. I did show you guys some real dead giveaway things in those close-up photos. Like there was a red LCD screen on there. There was let's have a little bit of a look again at some of the dead giveaways on this thing. So what do we have? That's the back of it. Regen, which is on the delay. There's your envelope generator. There's your one of your oscillators. That would have, for those who own one, that would have been a giveaway. And then the cross mod. And there was a bit of a blurred thing with the sequencer. I did that on purpose. There's the LCD screen. Randomizer on the sequencer. That might have been a giveaway with the lines like that. And then, yeah. So there you go. I tried to sort of hint. I tried to hint for you guys. By the way, in the background, I've had it covered up with this blacked out, because I didn't want anyone to know. There it is there. Yeah, didn't want to give that away.
And you did use Comic Sans. That threw everybody off. So
the name that synth thing. I did that last time too. Yeah. What are the chatties saying? Are they throwing their synths at the screen in disgust? Why is it cheating, Andy? Why is it cheating? It's a fake Moog. It's a fake Moog. Well, how many fake Moogs are out there? I mean, just about every synth is a fake Moog if you want to go down that path.
Stop splitting hairs.
Any subtracted synth after Moog 1, after the Mini Moog is pretty much a fake Moog. Roland of all things. Yes. Well, it's not truly a Roland, is it really, that synth? It's a collaboration between it's probably more a Studio Electronic synth than it is a Roland synth. By the way, Studio Electronics are quite proud of that. They've made the extender box thing for it as well, which I've got, which is still part of the synth. Doesn't work on anything else. Yes. Good job, Future. Well done, Future. You've done well. Good ears. By the way, I don't know what it's like from the receiving end. I can hear, obviously, my end. It's all high fidelity here. Going through YouTube, are these kind of difficult to hear?
No, sounded good.
Yeah.
It sounded fine. Yeah.
So Future World Machine saying he's got one himself, so that's probably why. I mean, I seriously could have just sat there and noodled with that thing all day today. It was grunging right up towards the end. I was enjoying it. The amount of feedback that you can get on that filter, it's like you can actually get it to sound like a TB303, pretty close with the feedback in it. It's really, really cool.
It's a wicked little box. Yeah.
It doesn't really have much Roland in it in terms of sound. Do you know what I mean? Like, it doesn't really have any sort of. The only thing that's Roland about it is the digital UI,
logo.
The logo.
Well,
yeah.
The SEO one that they made, the Moog clone, that's a rack mount, was totally Moog. So
yeah.
So it makes sense to just made it smaller and call it the SEO2. So
yeah. Yeah. Now I will admit, in terms of boutiques, that and the SH01A are my two favorites. So I'm not a huge fan of boutiques, but those two are actually really good boutiques.
the D50 one's pretty sweet.
The D50 is not bad. I haven't got it though because I don't need it. I've got a D550 here. But in terms of being able to, in terms of being able to save patches on a Moog, it's a mini Moog basically, and you're able to save patches.
Yeah.
That's a massive. Just if you forget about the sequencer and all the other amazing things that it does, just the fact that you can save patches on it. Yeah. Wagoo mentioned the SE3X, which we called the Sex Synth. I can't wait to get that. I'm definitely going to be getting that thing. That thing's insanely good, and it's a rack mount baby. I'm just kind of thinking maybe we should give you guys a bit of eye candy. There you go. So there is, in all of its glory, the SEO2. In fact, you can turn it on. There you go. It's like these knobs are tiny. It's smaller than my fingernail. So that's why I got this thing, because the most common knob that you're going to spin is that frequency knob, and the frequency knob's the same size.
You're stepping if you don't use that.
And it's a digital knob too, yeah. So if you use the extender box, it's actually a CV controlled frequency knob, which doesn't have any stepping in it. That may have been what, I don't know. It may have been difficult for you guys to tell. I don't know. I doubt it. So yeah. Right. Where have we got to? I think we've done most of the things, haven't we? Where are we up to? Anyone want to add anything? Darren? Put you on the spot? You're muted. Darren. Sorry, I did put him on the spot, so don't blame him.
I've been talking away and I've been muted all this time. Anyway.
What did you say? Rewind.
I don't know. I don't know what I was saying now. I'm completely lost. So you didn't use the actual filter on the SEO2, you used the box outside?
Yes and no. So before the graphic that said name that synth, I used the filter on the actual box, and then afterwards I grunged it up with the extender box. But bearing in mind the extender box is actually part of that synth, you can only get
that is the filter. That's just a controller.
It's just a controller, so it is part of that synth.
Yeah.
You can actually control the filter from anything. So it's not actually yeah. It's like using a
That's
keyboard
okay.
control.
We're just checking, like Formula One, just checking on the rules.
The rules are fine. Yeah, you can't like if you're going to have a synth and you want to run it through like a phase 90 pedal or something, you know, you can't do stuff like that. You've got to be it's got to be its own sound. And yeah, the fact that it's a digital delay on that too, by the way. So that is like pure analog, that synth, except for the delay. I believe it's digital. So it's actually quite a nice sounding delay. Oh, Roland makes some really nice effects. I've always thought Roland should do, like, the other day I was looking at their Zen stuff, right? Have you guys seen this? The Zen, the Roland Cloud stuff here, okay? And they've got this thing called Zenology FX. And I'll just bring that in as a separate track. I just want to show you guys this. I don't think you can make that any bigger. Anyway, this is all the things that you get through Zenology FX. So you've got a whole bunch of filter stuff. You've got all these different phaser. These are all digital, obviously. Oh, excuse me. Flanges, choruses. When you've got choruses, you've actually got a Juno 106 chorus, as well as the Space D and the CE1. So they're kind of your go-to Roland choruses that you'd pay lots of money for. And there's a whole bunch of other stuff. Now the delay, there's some good Boss-based delay circuits in there. And they've got a DJ FX looper in here, which is pretty cool. And you've got these combos that you can muck around with, like a JD Multi. So the JD Multi has distortion, phaser, spectrum as an EQ and an enhancer. And you can actually, I think you can change these somehow. Yeah, you can change these by moving them that way. I don't know if you can change it actually through that way, but did you guys want to have a listen to any of these? I just thought they were actually really, really quite good. Like the Juno 106 chorus, maybe?
No, the SDD delay, that one that I just seen.
The
I used to
SDD?
fancy having one of those, wherever the delay was.
Oh no, you mean the SDD 320?
SDD,
that's the chorus.
Yeah, is that on the chorus? Is it? All right, yeah, it was in there.
But
I always done with the buttons one. Yeah, of course it is. Stupid me. Should have realised that.
Oh,
yeah.
There was actually something else I wanted to show you guys. So I do need to show you this after we do this. Anyway, let's move this across onto the System 8. There we go. Turn off the Doctor phase. Let's get a different sounding synth up instead of the cross-modi sounding thing. Let's get like a...
Yeah, something. Try that chorus EP. Oh no, it's got chorus on it.
Oh no, we can, but we can turn the chorus off. So let's turn all the onboard effects off, right? And then we can use this chorus. Oh, hang on, let me turn, wait. I've got Black Hole running and I've got we can't have those beautiful sounding effects on there. Everything will sound good with that.
Wow, sounds like a DX7. That's amazing.
Yeah, it's not doing anything for me. Sorry,
no, I'm quite amazed. I don't like the sound. I think it's just amazing. It sounds really like.
Well, you got different modes.
But,
yeah.
Well, what have you? I can't hear it yet.
Oh, I can hear it. It's very, very crunchy there. I want to try this out because we're into phasers today. Small phaser. Is that like a small stone, Colin? Yeah, it's got color 1 and 2. Interesting. We got to change this preset. Sorry, Andy, it's horrible.
You can play Babe by Sticks with that.
We could. That's a new Jupiter. Turn any effects off though. By the way, the effects on the System 8 synth are actually really nice.
That's better. You can hear that better.
Nah, it's not small stone at all. That one is nowhere. Let's have a listen to the Juno chorus.
It's not noisy enough.
Yeah, you can turn noise on, which is that. You can, it's got 1 and 2, obviously you can do, but you can't do 1 and 2 together, I don't think. Shift click? No. Oh yeah, 1 and 2 there. Sorry, there it is there. And it's got the JX1 and the JX2 as well, which I thought was nice. So that's the JX, and this is the Juno. Definitely tell the difference. So yeah, Xenology FX. I thought that was a pretty cool thing. If you haven't checked that out yet, do so. Do so. Now, the other thing I wanted to show you, I know we were a lot in the box today, aren't we? Was this other free thing that I found during the week. Where's it gone? No. Oh God, where is it?
Is that only with the Pro account, or is that with any of the cloud accounts?
Pro, I think. Has this crashed my Ableton? Here it is. So this is the gem mod, which is the dimension presets. So you've got dimensions 1 to 4. Now, do you remember how I was saying before about, this is actually a free thing that you can get from Overloud. I'll actually get you guys the link in a sec. I've got the Boss DD500 pedal. It's a digital pedal. It's not the original Dimension or anything like that. And I don't own a Dimension original, but I do remember what it sounds like, and obviously listen to it on albums and things like that. I don't think this is quite there, but maybe it's because I just haven't played with it enough. But they do have presets, and I have no idea what half of these presets mean, because it's just like not really helping. I would actually probably encourage people just to use the interface. So Dimension 1, Dimension 2, like basically all that. So Dimension 1, technically you could get this thing to sound Juno-y and, you know, like some of the older Roland gear. Now, remember that sale they had on during Black Friday? Is it the Clark Technic thing that they were selling, the Behringer make thing? Yeah, so that's basically this thing, in a way. So we can we get the width of this better? There we go. It's definitely chorusy. Let's try it, just go from 1 to 4 without changing. All I've done is just enable the stereo width. I've got no other effects. All the effects on the system mode are turned off. So it's just this. It's similar, but it's not quite there. And just basically, when you go through these different ones, you'll notice that sort of that phasey sound that the chorus does with, you'll get that sort of almost like a high pass filter squelch in some of its harmonics, which is something that you got to listen to, and it does get it a little bit on mode 1. So have a listen again. There it goes there. Hearing it? Yeah, it's like, wow, sort of that sort of squelchy. So it is getting it. It's not as good as what I'd hoped for, but hey, it's free. So I need to get you guys the link for that, don't I? So that's the Overloud free gem mod. Sorry, give me a sec. They're saying that they only do 1,000 of these licenses. I don't know if it's 1,000 a day or 1,000 in total or 1,000. I'm not sure what it is, but there it is. It's still for free at the moment. Free download up until December the 20th. So you've got, what, a couple of days left. 1,000 license per day. Retails for $99 after December the 20th. It simulates the legendary dimension modulation unit. All right, and the other thing we could probably do is try a couple of these presets. So let's, you can pick one, Darren.
Number 9.
Number 9, inverted deep. Yes. Nice warning that. Oh, it's really doing that high pass thing, isn't it? It's all phasey, isn't it, that one? Right, what synth do you want to, instead of putting the System 1, System 8 through it, do you guys want to put a different synth through it? Roland-wise? Because this is kind of like a Roland effects, isn't it? What can I put here? I've got...
About Pro Mars.
I don't have the Pro, I haven't got that installed, but in this particular lot that I've got, D50, JD 800, Juno 106, System 100,
What's the concerto?
I haven't actually tried that out yet, but it's I don't want to crash the computer, but it's to do with
String synth?
strings and stuff and pianos.
Is it a string synth, is it? Oh,
Could try.
yeah. Go on, give it.
I have got orchestra. There we go. Let me just turn that off for a sec.
Oh, that's nice. I like that.
What do you put it through? Black hole.
Oh, yes.
It's like some of my old Emacs strings.
Yeah. I can't actually remember. There was a write-up about this, and it's like they're supposed to be quite high quality, and you have to download these orchestra packs and things like that. They're massive in terms of file sizes. I think this was something like 60 gigabytes. So they're probably all sort of samples and stuff. But let's.
Oh, I see. Right,
We've got fast cellos.
Yeah, so it's an orchestra plugin basically. It's not like their old RS 505 or whatever.
Yeah.
So it's
All right, so let's put the JD800 over and we'll run that through. That's very, very digital sounding, that thing, isn't it? Pulse pad. Anyway, that's the overloud gem mod, G-E-M-M-O-D, gem mod, which is basically the Roland Dimension 1 to 4, Dimension D, I think they would call it, wouldn't they? Dimension D, is that right? I'm never up on the lingo of this sort of stuff, but
Dimension D was the pedal.
Dimension D was the pedal. That's right, yeah. And the Dimension D had all the one to 3, didn't it? In the Dimension D. Tell me if I'm right, but these were all based on the original CE1 chorus, weren't they? And then they kind of branched off to different sort of, different sort of iterations of that. It was based on the CE1. It was based on the MN3009 Bucket Brigade delay chip, wasn't it? So, and then they went off on tangents with that. So I'm not sure. People in the chat probably tell us. Brains trust in the chat. Axel Soft Music. Haven't seen him for a while. Good to see him.
just having a look at some images, and the Dimension D is the rack mount thing with 4 buttons. The Roland Dimension D SDD 320 rack chorus.
That's what I thought it was.
There's the Dimension C pedal.
Oh, the C is the purple pedal. That's right.
Yeah, the C is the purple pedal, and the Dimension D is the great big box, and that's the one that Clark Technic did a clone of. So, yeah, sorry, just having a quick shufty at that.
Yeah, Clark Technic with the K, isn't it? Clark.
Yeah.
Technic. Third Dimension BBD. I mean, geez, I can't get one at the moment because they're on back order where I live. But 249 Australian dollars. Like, do a little Google monetary conversion in your world to work out what 249 Australian dollars. It's literally nothing. It's probably what £125 or something. That's so cheap
compared to the price of an original Dimension D, which go for hefty money.
And that module that we're just looking at is $99 when it's back up. So this is like, what's $25 more to buy the hardware thing that Clark Technic have made. Once I get some of these in stock, so I'm probably going to get one of those. I love the sounds of. I'm a very chorusy, modulator person, so I like it.
The DeepMind 12 has some Clark Technic stuff in it.
It does, yeah. It's digital though, whereas this is actually a real analog thing. But in chat, did anyone get the Sweetwater special on that? The Clark Technic Third Dimension BBD thing? I think it was going really cheap. It was like 90 US or something. It was pretty cheap. I forget now what it was.
By the time I saw it, it was already back up in price.
Yeah. I think it was only like a couple of days. It was like one of those, Thanksgiving type specials. But yeah, I don't know. You can never ever have enough modulation effects, honestly. You can never have enough. But going back to that, you've got a lot of controls. And the good thing about these, let me just minimize the Roland synth in the background. The good thing about these is, I believe, if you hit the MIDI learn thing, they can all be controlled by MIDI. All these features here. so that you can see it down the bottom of the matrix. These are all the things that you can control via MIDI down here. So that would be, you know, you could play your chorus effects in a way. I always find that sort of stuff interesting. Don't know if I've ever done much of it though. All right, news-wise, so there was really just the two free things that I wanted to show you guys. I actually completely forgot about the gem mod. I'm glad I didn't in the end. We got there. So yeah, beautiful. And jingle Quijadas all the way, says Axel Soft. Fantastic. Haven't seen the Quijada joke for a while. Yeah, Clark Technics, Jim's asking, is Clark Technic part of the, yeah, it is. It's part of the Behringer or music group. It's, you know, you've got TC Electronics, Clark Technics, Midas, Behringer, obviously. What else is there? I'm trying to think the other one that everyone knows of. I can't think of it off the top of my head now. So yeah, you know, it's no different to Akai's group of companies. You know, they a lot of these businesses, they buy up big, like, you know, now Focusrite, who own Novation, and now they own Sequential. You know, this is not uncommon.
Happens all the time in corporate world too. My laser company just got bought, so.
Oh, really? I hope you still got a job in the new year, mate. You'll be right though.
So far, you never know.
You never know. Yeah. Beautiful. All right. Well, Christmas cheers to everyone. I did take my hat off because I was getting sweaty in it. I can put it back on.
I have another show and tell thing if you want to see something crazy.
Yes. Bah humbug.
I have to move this out of the way here. You guys ever seen one of these beat things?
Oh yes,
Sonic.
You are going to no. That's not on Sonic.
No, it has been Sonic pads like the ASRX Pro, but
you're going to laugh your head off. But
Yeah,
that was,
that's what I was-
we did the worst gear show, and that was one of the ones that won a prize in the worst gear show because of the firmware on that thing.
So yeah, it's one of those things. Is, you know, the Beat Kangs is like a hip hop group. They actually did some stuff for Zoom. The Street Box had some decent grungy samples in it, but they got together with these guys and made this company. Couple cool things about it. I do like the ASRX style pads, but it's heavy as hell. It has a big battery in it, so when you charge it, you can just take it out for hours and hours and hours. Nice big screen. It has these cool knobs with the little kind of a jog wheel design, so you can just quickly whip around without having to grab the knob if you want to, kind of like a CDJ. Backlit, everything. Screen is good. One of my favorite things, you never see this on a drum machine at all, is a pitch bend wheel and a mod wheel
On the side, yeah.
on the side, which is pretty awesome because you can play this like a synth.
Yeah.
So for that, it's really cool. And also it comes with, you know, Neutrik connectors aren't that common either,
Yep.
unless you spend a fair amount of money.
It's built pretty strong, isn't it?
It's a tank. I mean, this thing is heavy.
Yeah. They were pretty pricey, if I remember rightly. They were pretty pricey. They were like $1,700
This one I got
US or
used
something.
for like, I think it's like $400 used or something like that. So,
Right.
and I got used to it. I used it a few times and it was fun to use, but it was the worst marketing thing ever. So.
Yeah. No, they screwed the firmware up on it.
Yeah. But you know, dual SD cards.
But did they ever fix the firmware? That's the question. Did they ever fix it? Because there were features in it that just didn't work.
Yeah, I don't think so. But you know, I'm used to that with the Hartman Neuron too. They never fixed the stick recording on the app.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
So
are you saying that Zoom had something to do with this? Did they?
No, it was the Beatkangs worked with Zoom on the Street Box.
Oh, okay.
There's the Zoom 123, 223, 224 sampling one, and then there's one called the Street Box with 3 X's. And it's all grungy lo-fi samples that they made. And I picked one of those up a while back. It's fun. It's just a cheap little, you know, I think 3 AA batteries. Same zoom, small zoom form factor. You know, it's like that big. Has a bass section for synthy stuff. It has a bunch of percussion stuff, and you can do like not a whole track on it, but you can do a good portion of a track on it on the go. But the 224 is one of the at least for a while it was coveted as a small sampler. But
the reason why I asked is because, I mean, obviously Zoom made that circular looking, groove.
Oh, the arc is so terrible.
Yeah, and they never went to fix. They never went to fix the firmware on that either. So
there's 2 versions of it, and they're both awful.
Yeah, it could have been.
It was so cheap.
The thing is, it could have been. Yeah. It just could. In the end, they were selling them really cheap, weren't they? They were like flying off the shelves because obviously someone in marketing had to remove them out of the factory. But
the big problem is it's a super cluttered interface.
Yeah.
So beyond the software, the hardware was just a mess. Way too many things to twiddle and wasn't sensibly laid out. The cool thing was it was an accelerometer thing, so you could pick up the ring and do like real-time effects with it by tilting and shaking it and stuff. And the ring itself had pads on it, so you could play it like a drum.
Yeah. I think there's a few people like David saying he had it, and he said he wanted to love it. I think a few people that I know got one, and they gave it, a fairly decent amount of time with it, and it just was one of those things that frustrated people. So
I still have it, but it's in a bag. So
yeah. While we're at it, Martin's mentioned that we haven't mentioned this thing, which is by Twisted Electrons. It's the Blaster Beats thing. Yeah, I didn't. I didn't mention it because Andy hates chip tunes. No, I did. Just kidding, Andy. I'm only kidding,
Stop throwing knives at me. I'm poorly.
No, it's we did actually mention this, but we didn't quite have the full details a few weeks ago, and I'm thinking that are getting lots of free hits from us. It is an interesting thing. It's based on the famous YMF262 FM chip that's in a lot of gaming arcade machines / consoles / computers. Even had them on sound cards. So it's a bit of a nod back to the 80s for sure. But this thing looks pretty interesting. It looks like it's built like a tank too. It does look really nice. Lots of connectivity.
It's not cheap.
No, it's not cheap. But I mean, these guys are a fairly boutique company. Yeah. Look, I'll tell you what we'll do is early in the new year, we'll revisit that and see if there's a little bit more information about that coming in the new year. So I kind of want to sort of see that in a few people's hands before we can kind of go any further. We've already mentioned it a couple of weeks ago, so I don't think we really need to give them any more free hits. In Australia, we call that the second suck of the salve.
Well, you would, wouldn't you? You could come up with any phrase you like, and you come up with that. Honestly,
you can come up with anything. You can't. That's what you do, Andy.
True. Very true.
Yes. I mean, like you guys come up with things like codswallop. What is a codswallop? Like.
Yeah. Right, I'm going to go into my etymological dictionary to find out where the origins of that.
Want it walloping cod onto it when they're building houses?
I don't know, but it's definitely an English saying, that one. Look, we should probably do a glossary. We should probably do a glossary show. I'm thinking about it because I've been known to say things like Kamagatsa, and people are going, "What? What's Kamagatsa?" Does anyone know what Kamagatsa is?
Sounds Japanese.
So Australian kamikaze.
Well, what do
It means that you've pretty much failed at something. You've Kamagatsa. In other words, you've fallen over and hurt yourself.
I've just got onto the etymological dictionary for codswallop, and it says to be from the 19th century, but first attested in 1959, perhaps from wallop, British slang for beer, and cod in one of its various senses, perhaps testicles. A 1966 citation in OED spells it cod's wallop,
codpiece.
as in
Yeah.
COD''S, wallop, yeah, as in codpiece, yeah. So to be walloped with your codpiece, so cod's wallop.
Yeah.
There you are. You did ask, and I happily obliged, because there's nothing better than a good slab of etymology this time in the afternoon.
All right. Why don't you look up Kamagatsa?
How do you spell that then?
The word come, gut, and then SA on the end of gut. Gutsa. Kamagatsa.
Almost sounds like New Jersey.
Don't forget this is
mafia
Australian.
No results were found. Because
Okay.
that's,
It's an outback.
I'm sorry about
Yeah,
It's
that.
an
you see-
outback saying. It means that you've
Ranzee
made a
says that
bad
we make
mistake.
up words. They really
I
make
did
up
not
words. At
make
least
this
I
up.
have
I
some
did not
past.
make this up. Look, in chat, there'll be an Australian backing me up here. It means you've made a bad mistake. That's what it means. There you go. You guys can go use that. Kamagatsa. But be careful, you might Kamagatsa. Yep.
I think you make up words and then think of what it can mean, whereas we have something that means something and then we put
Google
it together
it.
and make up the word.
Seriously, Google it right now. It's as if I could plan the amount of Google result in one show. Yes. It's in the Wiktionary. It's in the Urban Dictionary. It's in the English, what do you call it? Australian Outback Dictionary. Yeah. It's an Australian slang. We've got many of them. We have many of them.
I mean, let's be fair. All cultures have terrible made-up words. So,
Yeah, it could be Gutser spelled S-E-R. Yeah, it could be. Could be.
there's some really bad slang in the U.S.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I mean, we won't talk about fannies, will we?
Oh, don't.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay, before we finish the show, I do want to have a shout out to Chris, who I think has been putting up more of his episodes of the Fairlight journey that he's, I don't know if you guys have been following him. He's been rebuilding a Fairlight. If you haven't seen it, you can watch his shows through his own YouTube channel, or you can watch it through the Synth channel, which you guys probably would have all subscribed to, I'm sure. And what else was interesting during the week that I thought you guys should know about? Let me just get that. We'll get Chris's video up. I'll just share that. Who's into sort of rebuilding Fairlights and stuff like that and going through all that pain? Because I reckon it was pretty good.
Well, clearly, Robbie.
Yeah, clearly, Robbie.
I mean, doing IT stuff forever, I used to rebuild all kinds of crazy old computers, so it's not that different.
Yeah, it's a really kind of a computer thing. Like it is. It's like a your nerdy computer journey. There's Chris Blythe's channel in the chat if you want to find it. I'm sure Robbie knows him, or if he hasn't, he should now, because he knows all the Fairlight guys. If you watch his videos, it's really interesting because he's going through kind of all the problems that you have trying to get a piece of old 80s hardware working today. So things like the types of hard drives that it used, they use SCSI hard drives. So, we don't use SCSI hard drives anymore. So you need to have SCSI controllers and SCSI adapters and stuff like that. Yeah. So there's all kind of interesting things going on. It's kind of a bit to do with electronics, it's a bit to do with music, it's a bit to do with computers. So nerd out on that. There was a, Mac correctly said in the chat, there was a minor, I wouldn't say minor, I would actually say minor but important update for the Akai Force that came out this week. So make sure if you're a Force owner that you do download it. I haven't actually installed it. I've downloaded it, but I haven't installed it yet.
What did they add? I had the major one from a couple weeks ago, but...
Yeah, I did. I'm pretty sure I did paste the link to the release notes in chat. I'm just trying to see if I can try and find it. It was a while ago.
Wagyu and I have that Anima Phi physical modeling synth, which is really cool, and they just updated that the other day. with some amazing features. So
yeah. So the Akai Force 3.1.2 firmware update is a stability and reliability, pretty important. So it's fixing the importing of projects from Ableton Live using for disk streaming setting. It's fixing things to do with automation. It's fixing the arranger. Apparently the arranger crashed when you selected output 1 2-track header in the arranger view. So that's a pretty big thing. It's fixed some of the macro issues and saving and loading. Now this is the big one. So people were complaining that it would samples were overwritten when saving a project without making any edits, and obviously that was like causing massive issues. So now that's been fixed. There are still some known issues. They're saying that when a clip is looping repeatedly, recording short notes over one another can cause notes to on-off state to be incorrect, resulting in longer notes being sequenced but not recorded. Time stretching issues, and so there's a few things I've still got to fix, but I would definitely apply that update because of that sample saving thing. It's probably the big thing. Very important. You don't get any new features, but you get fixes, and fixes are more important sometimes when people are losing some of their projects. That's for sure. Oh, I get hot in this hat.
What happened to the Synth of the Year thing, by the way?
Oh yes, we're gonna answer that. Did you guys think of one that you wanted to recommend? Do you want to start, Andy?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, I've got one. Having spent quite a lot of time watching the stuff, the one that I really quite fancy, as in a dedicated hardware synth, that's new for this year, was the Korg Modwave. I think that thing sounds fab. I've spent quite a lot of time watching demos of that. I've got a bit of a soft spot for the DW sort of sound, as you know, and I do like the way that sort of works. The sound of it really appeals. So that would be my pick, the Korg Modwave.
Yeah, that's a good pick. I like that. I thought that sort of stuff's coming down in price too. So you never know. Just hang off a little bit.
I hope so. Yeah. I'm planning to.
I noticed the Korg, like the OP6. Is it called the OP6? The Korg one? Yeah, OP6.
The OP6 and the Wave State.
And the Wave State. I noticed they came down in price recently. So it looks like Korg have got past that first wave, of getting it out to the public, and now it's more the street prices out, which is good. All right, that's a good one. Andy, do you have one that you want to recommend? Your favorite synth of the year?
For like new for this year, there's some that I've kind of looked at here and that I haven't officially kind of picked something like that, but I did like he was saying about the Modwave is very cool because I have two DW8000s that are dead, and I don't have a Kent Spong out here, and some of the guys out here won't repair digital stuff.
You have Syntor?
We have there are a couple local places that only mostly do. I got a D50 fixed at one place, but they're very picky about what they fix. But mostly analog, mostly like one place is famous for fixing Leslie speakers. So when what's his face Walsh would come through here playing his guitar on tour and stuff. Joe Walsh, he would get stuff fixed there.
Yeah, is Joe Walsh still around? Is he?
And I'm not sure if he's still playing, but I think he's still alive.
Wow,
can't remember. But he's been through a lot.
Life's been good.
But exactly, yeah. But a Modwave would be pretty cool just because it does add that functionality, and it's a lot of stuff in a small package, which is kind of nice for something to take on the go. Yeah, like my old X Station.
Yeah.
So without thinking of anything else off the top of my head, that's a good pick, I think.
Yeah, no, that's some good ones there. What about you, Darren? You got a pick for the year?
Well, seeing as I've not had any intention of buying anything this year, I've not really I've not been really looking at what synths I really like because there's been no point. But the synth that I wanted to get at the beginning of this year, which I didn't, would be a Hydrosynth. So I would still keep that on my to get list, I think. That and probably a Waldorf, but they're even more out of the price range.
Well,
But
that
yeah,
little Hydrosynth looks really tempting, doesn't it?
Yeah, the
I still
compact one.
won't mind the desktop version actually. The Explorer, I still won't mind the desktop one. But having said that, I still got to save up for some either decent headphones or some speakers. So yeah, at the moment, it'd be probably the Hydrosynth if I had to pick a synth, even though it's not new, but I suppose the Explorer is and the Deluxe is. So in one way, it is new this year.
Okay. Cool. Yeah, I'm probably going to say the Waldorf. They make some pretty good synths, Waldorf, and
Which one, Ranzee?
The M.
Talk about the M.
Yeah, the M, because that was one that came out this year.
It looks nice.
I would like to get my hands on one. I'd like to get my hands on an Iridium. I'd like to get my hands on a just send me all the Waldorf stuff. The M is probably a bit more in my price range, so that one's probably going to be good for me. I think.
Are you trying to Blofeld?
I've got a Blofeld, yeah. So
you have one, yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Every single Waldorf thing that I own, I absolutely love. So the Strike Fit, I've got a Rocket, I've got a Blofeld, and I actually, in terms of VSTs, I think one of my favourite VSTs is the PPG VST. It's just so well done. It's like...
Yeah, I've got Pulse 2 as well.
You can't... Yeah, Pulse 2 is a great synth. You really
Even
just
the old
can't,
PPG version 2 plugin was really good.
Yeah, it's such a good plugin. It's worth every cent. I was lucky enough to get it a couple of years ago on a Black Friday sale, and updated it obviously to the latest now. But if you don't have any room for hardware, get yourself a Waldorf PPG VST. It's so good. There's sounds in there. There's some of the original factory sounds in there. You'll go, oh my god, I've heard that on records. You know, there's literally sounds galore that you'll just scroll through.
Just out of interest, the PPG plugin, I'm pretty sure it was GeForce Software's PPG plugin, was the first plugin I ever saw way back in about 1999, 2000, when Tom from Chillage People got it on his Mac, and it was like, oh my god, can this actually work? I was really amazed. I was slightly blown away by that you could, for what seemed like a small amount of money, have a working PPG that just sounded amazing. The very first plugin I ever saw.
Yeah, it's a really good plug. I mean, they're nothing's like fancy looking. That's what they look like. But the synths look like that as well from the 80s. They were, notoriously blue and white and black. But yeah,
beautiful.
Everything's there that you need. So it's a great sounding thing. Like, for example, where are we? We go to...
A lot of the classic Tangerine Dream presets are right there too.
Oh, yeah. I was about to grab a Tangerine Dream preset just now. Go to the factory sound sets, and where are we? Factories, 1984. And let's just go here, turn off browse, go to edit, and then we can go...
Straight out of Poland.
There's Tangerine Dream.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, Waldorf M would be my pick. Now let's go to chatties. See what they've said. They've been saying a lot. I did see someone else mention Waldorf M. I don't know how far I'm going to have to scroll back, but Take 5 seems nice, says Magoo. Not sure about that myself. But it might be a way for you to get an actual sequential synth. I don't know. I've always found sequential gear a little bit out of my price range. Oh, thank you, Wagoo, for the £10. Mary Saturnalia. Beautiful. Cheers for all the fun shows this year. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Started
yesterday, Saturnalia, didn't it?
Thank you very much, Wagoo, for the £10 anyway. I thought the... someone mentioned the Udo Super 6. So someone mentioned that, I'm pretty sure. Yeah. and Hydrosynth really is last year. What do you think? Do you reckon the Behringer 2600 is this year? I think it's this year. A lot of people have recommended that as being one of the best synths this year to come out. A lot of people would absolutely hate hearing that, but if you actually looked at the sale records of that thing, it is definitely flying out of the stores. I reckon a lot of people would get a 2600, and when it arrives there, they'd be like, what do I do? What do I do with this thing? It's just like, it doesn't have presets. I don't understand the layout. It's bizarre. How does the envelope work on this thing? It's crazy. It's got you know, you can patch it. You don't have to patch it. It's a really, really interesting synth. And even for me, you know, I know a little bit about synthesizers. I still find some challenges with it, and I love learning it. And you know, it's just sonic.
It's not a synth that you open the box and just go, well, hey, boom, straight into something. It's one that you stand there for a while, fiddling about with all the sliders, going,
Yep. Now, see, Darren, you never owned an Odyssey, did you, before you got yours?
No.
Yeah. So for me, I think I was lucky because I had the Odyssey I've had my Odyssey probably for 5 years or so, 6 years maybe. And I got used to that layout because the 2600 and the Odyssey have a very similar layout. And because of that, I was able to sort of feel my way around reasonably quickly. But still, I have to say, it's still a big challenge for me to learn how to use. Like the other day, I was trying to work out how to get the sample and hold working the way I wanted it to, and I was scratching my head, wondering how I had to patch this thing. And then I realized that it's internally wired, and I didn't have to patch it, and I was probably just confusing myself more than I should be. It's one of those synths that I think, you know, once you get used to using, you'll get some amazing sounds out of it. But it's limited in sonic potential in terms of you're not going to be able to polyphonic sounds and things like that. But it's not limited in its monophonic sounds. You can make just about any sound in that thing. I don't know. It's definitely probably up there. I'd say 2600 would probably be the second in my list this year, for sure. And then I would say the System 100 stuff from Behringer would be my third, because I absolutely love that Roland sound. I mean, technically, you could make a Jupiter 4, Jupiter 6 synth out of those Behringer modules. You just keep buying, and you've got polyphonic, that sort of stuff. You could do it. Thank you very much, Ken, for the 1999. Happy Christmas to all and a great year of shows. Has been good this year. Thank you very much, Ken. Appreciate that. Good to see Inverted Popes in the chat too. I haven't seen him for a while. We're gonna have to snag him for next year and see if we can get him on to do a Bitwig show. I think absolutely.
Actually, Ranzee, was a good question from David, actually, from David Surchek earlier about our plans for next year.
Yeah. So he did mention the word iPad, and Andy, as in Andy below me, and I are going to do in the new year an iPad show. Probably.
Oh, that'd be interesting.
It might be the first or the second show in the year, so it'll be very, very close to the start of the year. We'll get that one out to you guys. We've been planning on it for a while. And a lot of it will be coming from this man. He knows more about it than me. I have a few things to add to it for sure. So that's going to be exciting. I've got my Eurorack case to finish building, so that's my plan. And I've got to work out what I'm going to do with a faulty module. But no, I'm probably going to pick Darren's ears. I want to Jasper up that side over there with the Jasper pipes. Because I need to do 3 tiers at least over there. Yeah, get them off the table. So that's going to happen some stage during the year. It'll probably be a lot longer into the year though, because it's going to cost me a fortune. Because Jasper's not made over here, so either I have to find something similar, or I'll have to ship it over, and it's going to cost me a fortune because things are heavy.
Germany.
Yeah. yeah, and in terms of synths, for me, I've always wanted to get like a Dave Smith or a sequential synth, a Prophet 5 or something like that. So hopefully next year that'll be something that'll happen. Now I don't know if because Behringer are apparently going to release the Pro. Is it the Pro 800? I think it's called.
Well, they mentioned it months
So
and months
I believe
ago,
I believe that's coming out next year. Don't hold me to that. I don't actually have any inside knowledge, but I do believe that's coming out next year. And if that does what I want it to do, then I probably won't need to buy a sequential synth because I just really want that Prophet sound, and that will probably have it. Some people might argue that it's not quite there, but that Arturia soft synth is pretty close. It's very close. It's a very good soft synth. You could definitely trick people into thinking that you've got a Prophet synth with that one. But anyway, in terms of buying, I don't really know. It'll be build the Eurorack case, find out what's going to happen there, and we'll work from that point onwards. In terms of plumbing, I've still got to finish cabling everything in here. All the cables are just all like lying down on the floor. I've got to cable tie everything and plumb everything back. So that's going to be annoying to do. What about you guys? Darren, you got any plans for next year?
Well, to kick off, the first plan is to get the Hubble remixes out for those people that I said I was going to get it. Because that needs to get out for sometime in January, so that's my first plan. Rave Dave's album will be coming out next year, so I've got to get that. Or I should say, we've got to get that because he's when he was raving in here yesterday with Inky, he's messed a few things up, so I need to sort that out. Some new headphones. I need some new headphones, or speakers. Probably headphones because they'll be the cheaper route. Speakers at a later date. Synth-wise or anything like that, it depends how the money situation hangs out. If I ever get the chance, maybe go for a Hydrosynth 4. By the time I've saved up for it, they'll probably be bringing out the Hydrosynth 2. So we'll have to see on that one. But yeah, I think that's my plans really. Rave Dave's album. The thing was the remixes sending out for the people who bought my album in January, or maybe the Echoes album might be out next year as well. And yeah, I think that's probably it. Echoes. Oh no, at the back end of the same time this time next year, the 22 album will be out. I hope. So yeah,
sounds good. You've been punching out albums quicker than you can say Jack Robinson.
Wow.
Yeah, very good. I don't know how you do it. That Rave Dave guy must be helping you.
No, he makes a mess because he comes in and just goes and then goes out. I have to sort it all out.
Yeah.
So
that's
I
what
must
I
admit.
that's what I do. See.
That's why I said you got to put those glue traps out.
It's
for
just
him.
it's just a mentalist. I tell you what, I better go and get down on track that he's writing. He's just mental.
Adamski in the
That's
chat.
why I've got no speakers or headphones.
Adamski in the chat mentioned what's his name? Pure Ambient Drone. I don't know if you guys know him. He's got a synth YouTube channel. It's quite good. James is his name. I actually know him, and I have to get him on the show. I've been meaning to get him on the show because I chat to him like probably once a week at least on Facebook. So I think he lives somewhere in the middle part of the US. So it might be a tad early for him when we have our show on. I don't know. We'll see how we go anyway. But yeah, you guys know who he is, I'm sure. Well, Kent's popped the 20 pounder in.
As crazy as I am, so.
No, he's a good guy. Loving Andy's album. Nearly split my bronze 6 with them. Split my bronze 6 with them. Yes.
What's a bronze 6? Blimey. Thanks, Kent. That's very kind of you. Oh, you're such a
It is
gent.
good though, Andy. It is. It really is. So you're doing well. Thank you very much, Kent. Good man. Good man. Okay, and what else did we say? Andy, did I ask you what your favourite was? Yeah, I did, didn't I? So we've all been asked. I did. Good. Okay. And the chatties have said their bit. And I think we probably should wrap the show up, guys. How does it feel? Finishing for the year. Have a couple of weeks off. Nice. Wishing everyone wishing everyone the best of the festive season. Have a really nice time with your family. If you don't celebrate the Christmas, at least have some enjoyable time off work if you can. And we'll see you around about, I think it's going to be around about the 7th or 8th of January, whatever that works out to be. 8th of January. There you go. We'll see you on the 8th of January. So don't forget, tell your friends, there's no show for the next 2 weeks. Other than that, say hi to your mum for me, and we'll see you later. See you guys. Bye.
Right, see you folks.
I'll have a great Christmas or holiday.
Yes, good Christmas, good holidays, everyone.
Ho, ho, ho. Now I can go to bed. I was up all night, so.
Oh, Tannenbaum, wie grün sind deine Blätter.